My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is a call-in show. If you don't know what this is, we're live. We're hanging out. We're having a whole bunch of beers. Today is going to be Revolver Blood and Honey Light because I care about my figure. But if you haven't been on one of these before, you don't know what the hell you're watching, this is a call-in show. You, the fans, can call in. You can join me. You can hang out here, ask a question, and do all the things. This week, we have UFC Des Moines. We also have the wild debate about could 100 people beat one gorilla in a fist fight. I have no idea why that's viral, but it is. So I figured let's hang out. Let's talk about it. So step one, if you do want to hop on, ask some questions, you could ask some questions in the live chat. If you want to join the actual stream, be on screen with me, you just need to be a premium member, and the link is available both in the Discord and on your premium page. If you log in at WeWantPicks.com, go to account, you'll see a little red button that says call in. Click that, you're on the show. As long as your camera's on, I'll throw you on. IV, I see you in there, AV. I don't see you, but I see you there. Listen, I figured we'll just hang out. That's what this show is. It's a very casual show. If you want to talk fights, we'll talk fights. You want to talk random bullshit, we'll talk random bullshit. This week's random bullshit happens to be the 100 men versus one gorilla debate. I have full-blown flip-flopped on this dumbass debate that makes no sense, but we will get there. And before we really dive in, what would this be if I didn't brag a little bit about the success and then tell you to go to the website? That's just the plan. Last week was a spectacular week. UFC Kansas City was unbelievable. Bet Sam continues to defy the odds and do all the insanity. He hit another slam of the week, which I am very jealous of. It, at this point, is effectively better than the safety parlay. Long term, it's not, but that's probably because it hasn't existed very long. This says, Ange, do you see our comments? Yes, I do. I'm just doing my pitch, so chill. Long-term safety parlay is the beacon of stability, but short-term, meaning the last, 3 months, that slam of the week has been absolutely nuts. Safety parlay did also win at UFC Kansas City. Jacob is up money. I was up money. Bet Sam was up money. 48% ROI combined, a plus 1,400 prop bet. UFC Kansas City was the poster child of how an event should go for the boys, and I'm hoping UFC Des Moines is the same. If you do want to go to the website, check out the bets, check out the tools. The website's WeWantPicks.com. We have all sorts of tools for people who like to do their own research, like the tape index. We have a brand new DraftKings optimizer, which will build fantasy lineups for you. We have a brand new fight simulator, which will build DraftKings fantasy lineups for you, but also simulate fights 100,000 times. It'll take all the data that you could ever need, have these people fight in some fake universe 100,000 times, and then give you the results. We have a data analyzer. This is where you are in complete control of the data. You find your data points, you search for what you want, you stack them up, you add your filters, you do all of the things, and everything we do is available inside of the app. The app is available for free on the App Store. Just search We Want Picks. It is 100% free, and you will get push notifications anytime we place a bet. And finally, if you unlock all of it, everything on the website is in one package for $10, and you'll get these 4 events for that $10. Full access to everything we do for an entire month, which will get you UFC Des Moines, UFC Fight Night with Gilbert Burns, UFC 315, the UFC Fight Night with what the hell her name is. What is her name? Erin Blanchfield. Everybody said future world champion till Manon Fiorot got it done. And now Manon Fiorot is fighting for a world title next week. All the things available right now on the website. 2 little updates on some content this upcoming week for UFC 315. Normally, for years, we go live on Tuesday, but once a year, every year, we cannot go live on a Tuesday. Sometimes it falls on a fight night. This time, unfortunately, it happened to fall on a pay-per-view week. Cannot go live on Tuesday. I have a big thing that happens once a year where I literally cannot be here to do it. So this coming week for UFC 315, Tuesday night, there will not be a live. Thursday, at this exact time, 1 week from today, we will be live breaking down UFC 315. The normal Tuesday show will be next Thursday. It happens every single year around this time. Last year was first week of June. The year before that, it was April. Every year around this time, we have to move a show. And finally, the last piece of content update, we have a brand new live show. So our normal schedule, Sunday morning with Big Ange, I put out a quick big video. Now Sunday night, we will do a who's next, the matchups to make next video live Sunday night. Talk about the event that just happened. So this Sunday in 4 days, whatever it is, live at 9 p.m. Central. We will be here, myself and Josh Thomson, talking about the matchups to make based off the results of UFC Des Moines. That will be every single Sunday. We started last week, brand new series, and we're going to go ahead again this week, next week, and you understand how time works. And finally, next week's a pay-per-view. UFC 315 is a decent pay-per-view card. It's not spectacular, but it's good enough. A very interesting main event. A couple of other solid matchups. UFC 315 is a pay-per-view, which means I will be vlogging the entire day. Hopefully some friends come over. We cook some food. We do some things. We open some mail. I already have some mail from our buddy Thomas Rinker. He loves sending letters. If you want to send a letter, you want to send something to the P.O. Box, the address is We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406, Prosper, Texas, 75078. And if you want the bonus, you know where to get the bonus. Let's scoot all the way back. We've got some super chats. We've got some callers. Let's take a sip of this drink and start to catch up. Oh, yeah. I've lined myself up with 6 of these. So we'll see how long that lasts. We have a $10 super chat from Quint. Quint, you don't need the super chat. I appreciate you very much. Quint said, went to UFC 314 in person, and it was a blast. We Want Picks made it even better. I appreciate you, Quint. I'm glad you went. I've been to a couple events. Some are better than others. Where the hell was 314 again? Let's see. UFC 314. Oh, that was Miami. What am I Googling? Yeah, that must have been a fun card because Miami's not exactly a fight town, but it's still a fun city with a lot going on. I imagine like a UFC event in Dallas. Let's say, I mean, if they do downtown Dallas where the Mavericks play, that's probably a decent time, but there's not a lot there. There's like literally right outside that arena, there's a couple bars and restaurants and then a hotel. Like it's not like you flood out of the arena and then walk around going crazy. That's what's amazing about these giant pay-per-views in Vegas. The event happens, you leave the event, and you just get to explore the city, right? No cabs, no bullshit. You just get to explore, hang out, get drinks, get food, do whatever you want. So hopefully you had a good time in Miami. It sounds like you did. My next UFC event will be International Fight Week, UFC 317. I'm going with my wife and hopefully Jacob. My plan, don't tell him, is I'm going to buy 2 tickets. I'm going to pay for him, do the VIP, all that stuff, just like he did for me last year. And him and I will do all the fight stuff. My wife and I will do normal stuff. And then come fight time, sayonara, go gamble. Another super chat from Gyron Mike 24. Gyron Mike. I understand it's like, I don't know what the Gyron. And anyway, appreciate the down 99. I don't see a comment here. If there is one, let me know. Happy to read it. Let's go ahead, hop in. We got some callers. I'm just going to go in order. AV, how you doing?
Oh, my bad. I thought I was muted. What's going on?
You called me. What's going
on? Nothing much. I ain't going to stay on too long because I know I do be eating up a lot of time. But I did have one question
Sure.
that I was actually thinking about. So you said you were teaching your oldest how to fight, correct?
Correct. Well, both of them. The oldest is just doing better at it.
I see. Okay, so what would you say if, I don't know, like 8 to 9 years from now, she comes to you and says, hey, Dad, I don't want to go to college. I don't want to go to trade school. I don't want to do any of that. I want to become a professional fighter. Well, how would you feel? What would you think?
Some of that would come down to where she is at that point in time, right? Like if she's an unbelievable talent, then maybe it's a legitimate consideration. But if she's just regular, then no, fuck no. No.
Regular?
Absolutely not. Like if she's just like, oh, kind of athletic and gets it and no. But if it's like, oh shit, like, she's been competing as a kid and just doing stuff and making it work and winning these championships and tournaments and she understands it and it all makes sense, then yeah, that's a different conversation. But if it's just, hey, this is what I want to do and I'm okay at it, like no, because it's not like if you said, I want to drop out of college and become, I'm trying to think of something you don't need a license for, like, I don't know, a landscaper, right? That is something that you can do. You can build a business from scratch. You don't need college to build that. You can make a great living, build yourself a nice little business, and everything could be great. But if you can earn that along the way. If you say, I want to become a professional fighter, but you don't have the God-given talent, you don't have the God-given speed or chin or any of that stuff naturally, there's only so much you could actually learn. And if she's at that point where it's like, I think she's learned everything she can learn, absolutely not a choice, not an option, not happening.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Why?
Can you imagine if you said yes, like I want you to become a fighter, and then she gets in there and she has what's her name, Jasmine Yargui's chin, Yargui.
Yasmin Yaryui, yeah,
Yeah, imagine she
unbelievable
has her chin,
striker, like phenomenal. And then just
no chin. Yeah.
We had so I've been at this for a long time. I started training. My blue belt certificate is up there. I got it in 2004. 21 years ago, I got that stupid blue belt. And so I've been through, we've moved a couple times, couple different states. I've been to a lot of different gyms, met a lot of different people. There was this one kid, I'm not going to say anybody's names. There was this one kid who was unbelievably talented, very good at jiu-jitsu. And so his parents homeschooled him. And then he started to do the striking, got very good, very good. Like this, he was like, training as a young kid and 16, 17, amateur fights, blowing through people, jiu-jitsu tournaments, blowing through people, doing all the things. Turns 18. I was his manager because I managed professional fighters for a while. At this point in time, I'm managing professional fighters, a good amount of them in Connecticut. I was his manager, goes out there, and he gets power bomb knocked out. Power bomb knocked out, done, gone. First ever fight, 18 years old. His literal entire life led up to that. Literally, was homeschooled, didn't go to everything in his life led up to that moment, and it didn't work out. He's got a great life now, has nothing to do with the sport. Like he's doing a civil service job, making good money, has a nice family. It all worked out, but it doesn't all work out for everybody. And literally his entire life led up to that, and it just didn't work out. And for him, the worst part is it looked like it might work out. You know what I mean? Like he achieved the things you would expect and he was progressing, and it just still didn't work out. So it's very hard. A lot of things would have to align to be like, yeah, pursue that instead of, setting yourself up for life. Because you can do both. You can go to college and fight. You can do both.
Yeah, Dillashaw was doing that, right?
A lot of fighters wait till after college, right? Especially wrestlers. But let's say you want to do both at the same time. College A isn't all year, and B, there's plenty of time to get in whatever training you need to get in. Like I wouldn't sacrifice that because you're gonna need a job after fighting unless you're top 1%.
Or you're like got a super crazy personality or following. You can go YouTube route.
Yeah, that's why it'll all come down to the circumstance at the time. But that's not in my daughter's future. She it doesn't have she's getting it, she's liking it. There's just no way. There's no way.
Okay. I feel you.
What triggered this question?
Well, I mean, you were talking about it, and then I was wondering, because there are some fighters who I don't agree with taking your kids to watch you fight. Like, remember when
Seems crazy to do that.
Jakar Close destroyed Brandon Jenkins, and they brought his son. He was carrying his son. His son was just freaking crying, crying his eyes out.
Crazy thing to do.
So that's why I thought, I was like, how would you feel like if your daughter just like, because you're doing it every week and whatnot, you're going to training, when you can and whatnot, and you're always, and it's the only thing the only sport you watch. So I was like, how would you feel if you said, okay, well, my dad seems to be on board with it, I can become a fighter?
Maybe at that point in time, and I'm training. Anybody's figuring out what's going on here. If you watch the vlogs, you'll see that I'm teaching my two young daughters. I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. I'm teaching them how to fight. But I'm starting with boxing and then going to, I'm a grappler. I wrestled my entire life and then jiu-jitsu, but I'm starting with boxing for the kids because to me at that age, I want them to get used to throwing punches and not being afraid of a punch and all that. We'll figure out the grappling. I'm not worried about the grappling at all. To me, I want to worry about the striking. So that's why we're going that direction. Because I feel like as somebody who went the other direction, started as a wrestler and went the other, I feel like the striking is the bigger learning curve. There's a lot more mechanics. You have to worry about what's coming your way, flinching, turning your head. Those are things, the muscle memory required to not flinch or turn your head, that takes time. So I'm starting with the harder one first. So if, they love, if they love it, we'll continue down the path, do other things. If they don't, then it's fine. But they're going to learn enough to not be afraid.
I mean, yeah, because like, what if you have like a Bellamere,
Well, it also started if you, what?
Bella, oh, isn't her name Bella Mir? Frank Mir's daughter, who's killing it in one.
Okay. I didn't know. I thought you said a Bella Mirror. It's like, what the
Oh
hell is
yeah,
this kid's
I did
name?
say it pretty fast, one word.
No. Well, like if you watch the very first vlog where I kicked off that series,
Hmm.
I told a story. I always planned on doing this, but this is when I was like, fuck it, we're doing it now. We were at a restaurant. There's a restaurant in town that, it's a big town. Like there's, I don't know, 80,000 people. It's not nothing, but it's still kind of a small town. There's only a few restaurants that have big outside patios, and, it's part of the year. It's nice here when it's not 1,000 degrees. So most people go to this restaurant, and there's just kids running around in this big fenced in area. And you kind of just let your kids run around and play, and the adults hang out. So my kids are running around playing. Sometimes they'll bring volleyballs with them and toys. And my youngest brought like some little fake toy phone. It's not a real, it's a little plastic fake toy phone. And some boys smashed it. They smashed it to smithereens, just destroyed it. And she was distraught. She's 6 years old. Some little kids destroyed her toy. So she's distraught. Then the mother comes over, the most half-ass apology I've ever seen in my life, tries to give my daughter $20. Like I was like, we don't want that. Like, just kick rocks. But then we went home and we're like, all right, girls, we're done with the I'm crying over bullshit, distraught. We're done with that. Like, we're going to learn, not that she needed to defend herself in that situation, but we are going to learn self-confidence through the ability to punch people, or knowing, not that you need to punch anybody, but knowing that you could, and knowing you're like the confidence that comes with having any sort of background in anything is very important. So especially for two little girls in this world. So that's why I'm heading down that path, not for any sort of goals of professional anything, because that's not in their future.
Fair enough. I feel you. 100 men.
Is that your hair? Is that a wig?
Oh, you asked me this a while ago. This is my hair attached to my head. And a lot of people kept saying, take off the wig.
I saw the other day people saying, it's beautiful hair. Being accused of having a wig is a good thing. Like, nobody accuses somebody of having a wig when it's some thinning bullshit. So it's nice hair.
I got a pro-seating hairline.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, 100 men would be the gorilla, though.
Listen, I started in that camp, right? I started in that camp. That's too many people. It's, it's they're just pile on. And then the more and more facts that I hear, and the more and more I learn about it, the more I realize I don't think so. Like a gorilla, you can't pierce their skin. Like, we can't pierce that skin with our teeth, with our hand. We can't do anything. The only vulnerable spot on that gorilla is its eyes. That is the only vulnerable spot. They can rip your head off, like 2,000 pounds, just rip your head off, punch through your, like, that's the problem. The only way it would work is if somehow all 100 people jumped at the exact same time.
That's what I was thinking.
We're able to hold it down and just clawed its eyes out. That's like literally the only way it would work.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because I mean, like, gorillas, like, they are very, physically, like, strong and whatnot, but they aren't invincible. Like a gorilla, like, they get killed by leopards. And they can't handle when it's raining because they have like ADHD or something. But yeah, I was thinking, like, if all 100 men just jumped on the gorilla at once, like, don't get me wrong, it would be scary. Because I feel like eventually, like, 100 dudes, like, if every dude's committed to, like, okay, we got to kill this gorilla, like, and no one's backing out, then, like, eventually the gorilla's gonna get tired.
Eventually, 100 people is a lot. But like, it literally will be ripping people's arms off and ripping their heads off their bodies, like, with relative ease.
Yeah. But I'm saying, though, doing this like elite, like, 50 times eventually, and not to mention, while you're ripping one person, the others can be jumping on you. And also, is it 100 guys, like, just barehanded, like, we can't pick up stones or sticks or anything?
Well, if you have weapons, that's a different game now, isn't it? The gorilla doesn't have weapons.
Yeah, well, it is. Its body is the weapon.
Yeah. Well, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, while he's trying to bite because they do have the strongest bite force. So, but like, while they're trying to, like, rip one guy apart or even two guys apart, the rest of us could just run around the other side and jump on its back and just keep jumping and suffocate it, and just because it's not going to be able to. 100 men is like what, 200,000 pounds or whatever on average.
It depends what size human we're talking about here, but.
Yeah.
But, I was squarely on that side where I was like, this is just too many people. And then after all these, like, zoologists and scientists started doing TikToks of like the actual statistics and what gorillas can do, I was like, oh, okay. Well, this is a different world. This is not what I thought.
Yeah, like I say, it's gonna be terrifying, like absolutely terrifying. But 100 guys, like I think, like if 100 guys can just all, like not even just 100 guys, but even if 50 guys can just like go in from the front distracted, and then 50 guys from the back on and distracted, then I think it's
The
good. 'Cause, I
problem is
mean,
who's going first, because those people are getting mauled.
that's what I'm saying. It's just gonna
It's
come
like
down.
old school war where you literally have lines of people, and anybody in the front line, you're positive you're going to die.
Yeah,
That's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do
yeah,
it.
I'm just saying, yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, it's just like what's the strategy here? Like, can we all charge it at once, or are we going like gauntlet style, one after the other? Because if it's one after the other, by the time it gets to like, I want to say the 40th dude, like the gorilla's gonna be exhausted. Like ripping 60 people in half is it's gonna be exhausting for the gorilla.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you said how much does 100 men weigh? If they're 200 pounds each, which is larger than the average person, that's 20,000 pounds. I don't have the stats off the top of my head, but there was a lot of things that gorillas have as far as brute force and strength, where
Yeah.
20,000 pounds is not absurd.
20,000, yeah, 20, not 20,000, but yeah, like definitely. Like even if like I mean, like it's the same. There's just too many unknowns. Like we got to know a lot of stuff. Like and like and also what like what time period is this in? Because if it's like early
When
like
men were men,
no,
cavemen.
well not well yeah, but also
I
like
think 100 cavemen would do a lot better than 100 men today.
I mean well yeah in terms of like
They're
just
used to fighting
aggression.
for their food, and then
Yeah, but also men from like that time were like way smaller though, because food was like super hard to come by.
true.
So they were probably like walking around at
So
like 130 pounds or
you
whatnot.
need 100 corn-fed Iowans is what you're looking for. Just 100 live in Iowa corn-fed farm dudes, just big old farm strength guys.
Yeah, I mean, cause like even now, like well, I guess to be fair, I guess now that they use spears, but even like tribes in Africa, these people are like very very skinny. They're still taking down gorillas like with like six to 10 people.
Yeah, with weapons. That's not that
Yeah,
big.
spears. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying
I
like
don't even know where this whole stupid ass thing came from. It just went out of nowhere, was insanely viral. I remember 2 years ago, the debate was like, can one grown man beat like, was it 10-year-olds or something dumb like that?
oh
20
yeah,
10-year-olds,
10,
something
10 year
stupid like
olds,
that.
10
And
year
it's
olds.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll fuck
yeah,
up a bunch of 10-year-olds. Yes. They'll just start crying. You hit them once and they'll cry. An animal is different because they will fight till they die. Like, if you end up in a situation with a pit bull, that's it. Like, it'll go until it dies. A little
yeah,
kid, you punch a kid in the face, that's it. He's crying.
yeah.
Done. All right, next. Let's make the next one cry. All right, listen, what else do you have for me before I move on to the next caller here?
Hmm.
If
Oh,
you have to think about it, that means nothing.
oh, well, actually, I did have one
All
UFC
right, let's hear it.
question. Well, I guess, what do you think? Like, what can the UFC do to like turn around everything? Because it's the product. Just like, I mean, it's kind of at a point where like I honestly don't really care about the UFC anymore. Like, I'm just in it for like the bets and like the hype and stuff. But like, I just don't like the product anymore. I feel like from 2024 to now, it's taken like a huge plunge in terms of quality.
I think it's a couple things going on. One, and their pay-per-view numbers are down as well. I think a couple things are going on. One, I think it depends where you start the measuring stick from. Because if you're measuring from peak UFC, which was COVID, right? 2020 UFC was like the most watched UFC ever, period.
Yeah.
Like peak COVID, when people were not afraid of dying anymore, but were still home. Like that was peak UFC, right? Fight
Mhm.
Island UFC, that whole thing. Those are the best numbers they've ever done, right? That outside of anomalies, right? Like a Connor fight. That's really when UFC shined. So if they're comparing that UFC product when we were all desperate for something, and when we all, and I see you, Anvi and Philip, I'll get to you right after this. When they were all desperate for content and stuff like that, you, me, everybody else who watched then, every event was a huge event. We cared about all of them. And now this post-COVID world where it's no longer a treat, like it's almost a given. I should have an event. Why is it in this little ass arena? Why isn't it in front of a crowd? So, I think there's two things going on. I think The UFC is a superstar problem. We did a hot take. Josh and I did a bad take about it. The UFC superstar situation. I do think they have a superstar problem. And frankly, Alex Pereira losing made it way worse. When your biggest chance at a superstar right now is Ilya or Islam, that's a problem. Like, that's a problem. But this isn't the first time the UFC has had the peaks and the valleys of no superstars. That has happened many, many, many times over. After the Chuck and Tito era, it's like UFC's done. That's it. And then you get the next generation. Then after that, UFC's done. That's it. Then you get, so there's always somebody waiting in the wings to pop up out of nowhere. But your question was, you're not very excited about it anymore. How does the UFC improve the product? I think they just have to keep doing what they're doing, put on consistent shows, reward the behavior they want to reward. It's like training dogs. When your dog does what you want to do, you give it a little treat. Oh, now I know I do. So if you reward that behavior, bigger bonuses, more penalties for people who do fuck all. If you cut people more often for being boring, all of a sudden, watch how few are boring. No, that's not the. Watch how many people care about being exciting. Because what happened was there was a period of time where people only cared about being exciting. Now it's swung the other way where people care too much about winning, because winning is the only thing that matters, and you get double the money if you win. You know how the UFC pay structure works, I assume?
Yeah.
Half your money to show up, half if you win. So now winning is the most important. I don't care how I win. I just need to win. So if they made a few tweaks and rewarded the proper behavior, you'll get more exciting fights. And as long as the fights are exciting, everybody's happy. I think the combination of the Apex, which is really just sucks the air out of an event, and a lot of these fighters fighting just to win and not fighting for the bonus, because the bonus isn't as much as the second half of their payday, then, it's going to take a little bit out of it. So I think it's a natural evolution of, we lost some superstars, so we're in the middle, and they need to make some tweaks to how they pay the fighters and where they host. Because I'll tell you right now, UFC Kansas City was an unbelievable event. Obviously, I think we all agree.
Yeah.
Some of that has to do with the crowd. Some of that has to do with the crowd screaming, cheering, yelling. It's better as a fan to hear that. The visuals are better, and the fighters get more hyped for that. So I think it's a combination of things. But I don't think they're dying. It's not the NBA. The NBA is obviously, they're still massive, but the NBA is has a real problem on their hands. The UFC doesn't.
Because I mean, there's no, I don't who would you consider to be a superstar? Because I never considered Sean O'Malley or Izzy to be superstars, because every time they were to headline a pay-per-view, the entire card would be pretty stacked, and to convince us that they were superstars. But in fact, they really aren't, because 2 million, 3 million followers on IG or whatever doesn't translate into pay-per-view sales, because the only people buying pay-per-views are people older people like yourself with money.
We'll find out. Older people like yourself. What the fuck?
Middle-aged with families.
Jesus. We'll find out if Sean O'Malley is a star or not. Obviously, they want him to be a star. They portray him as a star. He lives his life like he's a star. I don't know if he drives pay-per-view numbers, because the narrative around John Jones is quite literally one of the most famous fighters ever, because he's been as good as he's been for 20 years, 15 years, whatever it is. John Jones does not move the pay-per-view needle. He only has one single pay-per-view inside the top 10, and that's his rematch against DC. So he's not a big pay-per-view draw, even though he's John Jones. So, it's when we talk superstar, there's two pieces. There's name notoriety against normal people, and there's pushes the needle. Name notoriety against normal people, John Jones is the only person in the UFC. If I talk to any of my friends, I don't have a lot of friends that really give a fuck about UFC. If I talk to any of my friends that are middle of the road, don't know a ton, they will only know John Jones on the active roster. They won't know anybody else. Conor McGregor, obviously, but that's a joke. So, it's really just a matter of, they need to find the next superstar. And in this current environment, the only quote-unquote superstars are international fighters who have their entire countries rooting for them. Ilia Topuria, outside of the U.S., megastar. Mm-hmm. If they can get an Indian to, do quite well, I mean, it's the most populated continent on planet Earth, and they care. They gamble. They watch sports. The UFC is desperate for an Indian superstar. Yeah. Desperate for it. They have a
billion
China.
people
They have
watching.
because like they have Zhang Mingyang. He's Chinese. They have obviously Wei Li. She's Chinese. Wei Li's not, it's a woman. Unless you're Ronda Rousey, it's going to be a little tricky. Zhang, it's all like, please become somebody. Because like markets where you have people who gamble and watch sports, that's where the UFC want. Like all the Muslim superstars, Muslims don't gamble. So as dumb as it sounds, because the UFC is they don't gamble.
None of those Saudi prince.
I mean, obviously, it's a gross generalization to say that, but the practicing Muslims don't gamble. Indians gamble, Chinese gamble, American, most other cultures gamble. And if you're gambling, you're watching sports. And if you're gambling, you care. And if you're gambling, you're buying the pay-per-views. If you're gambling, so they're in a situation where their biggest superstars right now are not American. And unfortunately, America is the biggest market as far as buying pay-per-views today.
Yep.
So there's your answer.
Oh, well.
Well, listen, I appreciate you calling in. I've got a couple people in the queue that are literally yawning, not because of you, but because they've just been sitting in this queue waiting for their turn. But I appreciate you calling in. You've always got solid questions, good insight. Definitely call back. We're not going to do one of these next week because next week I'll be live breaking down 315, but definitely call back.
All right. See you, man. Thank you.
All right. We appreciate it. See you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to Philip, and then I'll go to Anvi. You're just going to have to fucking sit there, Anvi. Philip, how we doing?
It's been a while, so I just thought I would stop by and say hi.
Well, appreciate you, man.
It is that time of the year where you put one hand on your hip and the other hand holding a beer and just stare at the lawn and try to compete with your neighbors who has the best lawn.
I definitely love that. Like, I care about my yard. Actually, if it wasn't so, it's too expensive to do. If it wasn't so expensive, I would turf the backyard. To rip out all the grass, put down fake grass, and live the dream. The problem for me right now is my lawn gets mowed on a Thursday. It just happens that every Thursday it fucking rains. So it hasn't been mowed in 3 weeks. I'm going to get a letter. Like, it's bad out there. But it is that time of year.
Yeah, it's pricey, and looks like you hire someone to take care of your lawn, but
it's only $20 to mow the lawn here.
Right.
There's just so much competition. The lawns aren't big. So it's $20.
Yeah.
To mow it, do the weed whacker and the edger, $20. It's like, for me to buy the equipment and take that time, it would cost me more to do it.
My neighbor and myself, we share some of the equipment. So he has the edger, and then I have some dumb shit, and then we kind of like take care of each other. The backyard is crazy because we have a German Shepherd, and my fiance is such a dog person, and she's like, I gotta play with the German Shepherd. I don't mind dogs, but I can't stand it when it becomes a fucking obligation.
See, we've got 2 dogs. I love the dogs. Life is much harder with them. That is an undeniable fact. We've got 2. We've got an old beagle. I've been up since 2:00 this morning. He woke us up at 2:00 in the morning. He's old as shit. I don't know how much longer he has. And he was like, I thought he was going to die. I literally thought he was going to die at 2:00 in the morning. He was like, like just some disgusting noises that woke me up. And then from like 2 to 3:30, I was just laying with him and petting him. And then I can't, once I'm up, like my brain is moving. I can't fall back asleep. So I've been up since 2. The little dog is quiet inside the house, doesn't bark, no bullshit. He's young, so no real health issues. But if I let him out back, immediately barking at everything. Yeah. So it's like there's just always something. It's like, God, you shut up. You stop trying to die. Like, what the hell is going on? So I'm with you. Love the dogs, but it's too much work.
You mentioned life is a lot harder with the dogs, but I saw one of your segment talking about how much you love your family, your kids, and they're like, God, I just fucking can't stand. Sometimes they just make my life harder. I just want to watch UFC. I'm paraphrasing right now, but I remember that segment. I was like, babe, this is literally me right now.
It's funny because like sorry, my neighbor asked me to come help him move something. Not happening, bud. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm watching PFL too, and right now, I'm sure you remember Alexander Romanov is fighting against some old dude.
Jacob just texted me that Carl Williams got screwed.
Yes, I agree, because But you know what? I bet on the other guy, the Russian guy. He was horrible. He wasn't. He got takedowns, but he couldn't hold the Carl William down at all. Carl William would just got right back up. He just couldn't hold, not even a second or two. He just got right back up, and it was a bad judging. But I bet on the other guy in dumbass parlay, so I'm happy about that. That's what I was doing. Like, yeah,
it's funny because I don't watch PFL. I only watch UFC, unless it's big enough that I'll care. But Jacob's been texting me. Let's see. He texted PFL. This was at 8:00, right before I went live. PFL has been live for an hour and a half, and they have only had 2 fights, and they just keep talking. I said, "What are they talking about?" He said, "Random stuff.
Random
Being
stuff.
there must be terrible. Like
random stuff.
He's railroading PFL right now."
If they take away those random stuff between the fights, it's actually not a bad setup. I'm specifically talking about tournaments, not the pay-per-view ones.
Yeah.
It's actually interesting how I get to see the tournament. One of those good old days movies. I can't remember Mortal Kombat, where it's like a tournament thing. Anyway,
I mean, you're talking about the Kumite Bloodsport.
Mortal
Kombat wasn't a tournament.
No,
it was
not Mortal Kombat. There was a movie about where all these different martial artists shows up to this. Huh?
God damn it! It's Bloodsport. The
okay,
Kumite.
There we go.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. One of the best.
Oh
movies
yeah,
of all time.
that one. The bad guy was a Mongolian guy. That was a sumo wrestler guy.
He's like,
yeah.
That whole thing. Yeah, that's one of the best movies ever.
If they take away all the dumb shit between fights, it's actually not bad because the fight sucks. The fighters are not, the talent wise is terrible, but it's actually not that bad because between commercial breaks, they actually show the corners talking to their fighters, and then they have 2 screens. One is the commercial, and the other side is the corner screen. So at least I get to enjoy seeing corners, and UFC don't do that anymore.
They have a couple of cool ideas. The ref cam, they've got a couple of cool ideas. They have weird stats, and aren't their stats live? Don't the stats update live?
They do. Yes, they do. What they don't do it in the tournament is they don't have that AI decision. They have a couple of unofficial scorecards at the end, and they have AI scorecards, but then they have official scorecard. So I enjoy seeing those scorecards besides the official scorecards as well.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's the every other product. The UFC has quite literally the best pacing in all of combat sports. Boxing pacing is atrocious. PFL pacing, as we just mentioned, is atrocious. The only promotions where you'll get pacing as good as the UFC's are local promotions. And that's only because a local promotion will have 28 fights, like literally like 28 fights. So it's like next. Where I don't know why a PFL has such horrific pacing. Maybe it's their sponsorship deals. News just came out that they're suing like 10 of their sponsors or something, that the sponsors didn't pay them and they're pretending that they're victims. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I didn't read any of the lawsuit or the legal paper, but what I imagine, being a logical person, is the PFL didn't hold up their end of the bargain. They didn't get the views, or they didn't do the ads the right way or something, right? So they weren't paid, and now they're suing. The PFL forcing specific timelines is tough, and boxing does the same thing. Like, boxing will have it, I'm making up numbers, but let's say the main event starts at 9 p.m. They will make that main event start at 9 p.m. no matter what. If 2 fights end by knockout in the first 5 seconds before that, they don't give a shit. They will burn an hour and a half to make sure that main event starts exactly at 9. That's what we saw that with the Tyson Paul fight. Remember the amount of time they were killing? They killed literal hours of just nothing. Rosie Perez is like, what are we doing? Where the UFC does a great job of, obviously the main card has to start at a certain time, but once that main card starts, they're not burning time. They're just, let's go. If it's a 2-hour pay-per-view, it's a 2-hour pay-per-view. If it's 3.5, it's 3.5. Like, we're not gonna force this into a 4-hour window no matter what.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. Sorry, I just choked on my freaking vape.
Unbelievable. Is that
It's
what kind of vape we got there? What
it's
state do you live in?
I live in Washington State. I live in
So
Tacoma.
you can put whatever you want in that fucking thing.
Yeah, but this is one of those just
That could be heroin in Washington.
it could be the weed is legal.
Literally,
Weed is legal
whatever
here.
you want. Everything's legal in
Yeah.
Washington.
Everything's legal. These don't get me started. I'm ready to check out. I'm ready to go back in Tennessee any minute.
They sell already bent spoons in Washington.
I can't watch the news. It just drives me insane. But the state's beautiful. I mean, I
have to go there for work a good amount. And
of all the states that I live, I immigrated to New York City. I live in upstate New York, and then I moved down south for
dude,
a good chunk of time.
From New York City to upstate New York's a wild move.
It is what it is. It happens. I was after 5 years in New York City. I was done. I was just like done with the crowd. I was done with the red size apartment. I was done with it. This cannot be the United States that they show on the Home Alone.
Where are you from?
Burma. Joshua Bam, baby.
Oh,
Joshua
that's right.
Bam.
Yeah, that's
there
right.
we go.
What language do they speak in Burma?
So in Burma, freaking Romanov just knocked out victory.
He knocks somebody out standing?
Yeah.
Jacob just texted me by power guillotine.
Oh, is it?
One of you is wrong as fuck.
If that's the case, then I missed my bet. Then fuck. So in the country Burma, there's different states, but unlike United States, they don't all speak the same language. They have different ethnicity. In the United States, New Yorkers speak English. Washingtonians speaks English too, but that's not the case in Burma. They all have different language. But Dr. Van is a different ethnicity than I am.
Oh, really? It's a melting pot?
Yeah. Huh?
That's a melting pot.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I moved to upstate New York, and I moved down south, North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina. I stayed there for
work.
I got into restaurant industry when I dropped out of college and left New York City. I got into restaurant industry where I started rolling sushi in the back kitchen, and I got good at it. So I started.
You look Japanese. Do this.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's the first 2 weeks. All I did was fucking wash rice. That's all I did.
But, oh, really?
Yeah. But they expedited it because I looked good. So they were like, "Let's go to front office." So they put me up front, and then I did okay. And then I was like, I'm good at this. So I decided to start my own franchise business with this big company.
Sushi related, or that was just how you
Sushi related.
Oh, okay.
So if you go to these big high-end supermarkets like Publix, Whole Foods, they have that Kroger sushi counter. Yeah,
dude, I get Kroger sushi and the Kroger poke bowls like once or twice a week.
Yeah, those folks that works behind the counter, they are not Kroger's Publix. They're not.
They're all subcontracted from a larger company.
Correct.
Oh,
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So they take sales from the store. The headquarters takes a cut, and then we keep about 65% of it, and then using that 65%, we try to make a profit out of it.
Oh, so they literally get paid on what they sell. It's not just, hey, you'll get X a week. If they buy it, they buy it. If they don't, they don't. It's literally profit sharing.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
See, these call-in shows, I love when it has nothing to fucking do with fights. I like learning about stuff of this. So I love the, you're almost renting this, not almost, you're renting the space. That's what you're doing. Effectively.
Yes. So the sushi company headquarter, now the giant one is AFC based AFC. Their subdivision is called Tsunami. They have a deal with these supermarkets, and they kind of like offer supermarkets a chance to provide a variety of food to the customers that walk through the door.
The grocery supermarket, the supermarket sushi is like, it's good. I'm watching them make it.
Right.
And it's good. Like, the only thing you're not going to get is a hot roll, obviously. But other than that, it's like, it's good. The poke bowls, the Kroger poke bowls are great.
Yeah. I
like it cold. It's great.
I did 2 years in Kroger in a town called Lynchburg, Virginia. I did 2 years and did nothing but rolling sushi every fucking day. So no day off because this is my business. So no days off. If the store closed for Christmas, then it is what it is. But other than that, no days off, and then you just keep doing the same thing every day. So
I gotta start saying hi to these people.
Yeah, I mean, they
I
would,
just assumed. I mean, I say hi, but I don't like. I'm not.
some of them are shy.
Name.
Some of them are shy. They don't speak a lot of good English. But
well, the only time I really have a full interaction, I'm always very like, hi, thank you, because I see they're making it, so I always say thank you. I never ask for anything special. That's a fucking weird thing to do. I do always ask for more of the whatever that spicy orange sauce is.
Oh, spicy mayo. Yeah,
is that what it is? I'm always like, can I get another one of these?
Yeah, like you just
that's my
you
own.
Yeah, you mix the sriracha sauce with mayo and soy sauce, and that's what I did.
It's good. I drenched the poke bowl in that.
There we go. I mean, hey, I'm fine with that too.
And the funny part is, I despise mayonnaise. Mayonnaise to me is so fucking gross, but I love mayonnaise-based salads and mayonnaise-based sauces. I just can't see how it's made.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Guillotine choke.
Yeah,
so,
Jacob, he sent me the video.
Yeah, but it's good. It's still I have a bet on him, so it's fine. Yeah, these folks, some are good. Some has business instincts in them, so they will try to engage with the customers, and some they just want to put their head down and they just want to make pump out fresh sushi every day. But the idea is that these are independent contractor. They just get a cut after the store gets a cut, the headquarter gets a cut, and then the rest they take it. So it's a cool.
They're not hourly. The employees get a profit share too.
They're not hourly.
So the guy rolling the sushi is profit share.
Yes.
Oh my god! I mean, I need more of it now.
Yeah.
I'm like literally helping them out. I'm helping that guy out when I buy that sushi.
Exactly.
Holy shit!
Now that guy he or she might be the boss. Then he completely takes the cut. Now he might own a couple of stores within the town, so he might hire a couple of folks
we only have the one grocery store.
But the thing is that this is them areas that not really widely discussed. A lot if the boss that is standing behind the counter is the guy hires somebody. Usually
you can hire him any way he wants.
Yeah, usually cash based. No, not hourly. A lot of these folks, they are not hourly. They're cash. They pay them under the table. I think. And then they provide housing for these employees. I don't want to say employees because employees are W-2. They're not W-2 folks. They provide housing and they provide a set amount of dollar, and then that's it. There's no insurance. There's nothing like that. It's like a good
contractors.
Yeah, they're contractors. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what a wild twist this all took. I like learning about random shit like that.
Yeah.
Especially things that like I eat that sushi, right? So I'm always curious what people do for a living and like how, because my real job, I'm not going to get into too many details, but my real job is the type of job most people don't even think about or care about. Like it's in a needed I'm in telecom, so it's a needed function in society, but nobody ever thinks about like, where's the internet coming from and how does the internet work? And like, how are these stores talking to each other? So I always like just hearing about other people's, what they do for a living and where it sort of fits in all of this. So that's an interesting one. I didn't realize. I just assumed everybody worked for Kroger. They're the largest grocery store chain in the country, and that was the end of it. So it's funny to hear. It's like, nope, that's sort of a leased little area there in the corner.
Yeah. You said you used to live in the Northeast. So
from Connecticut. I spent most of my life there.
So they have a big chain up there. It's called Wegman. I don't know if you know.
We didn't have Wegmans in Connecticut, but I do know what Wegmans are.
Yeah, Wegmans are sold. They completely removed the that sushi company, and they just straight up hire
their own sushi chefs.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
So, Wegman. Yeah, the Wegman does that. But for the most part, Fresh Market is usually in the South. Publix,
Oh,
Whole
we have
Foods.
Fresh Markets. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I used to work for Fresh Market too.
Fresh Market's like not quite a what's the Whole Foods? It's not quite Whole Foods, but it's like kind of Whole Foods, right?
Right, kind of
Yeah,
Whole
yeah.
Foods, but not
Yeah.
quite.
Yeah, we have Fresh Market.
Pretty expensive.
We have
honestly.
we have HEB with sushi. I imagine HEB is doing it themselves though. They're very HEB does. Have you been to an HEB? You know what an HEB is? It's a Texas company.
I don't know.
They're everything's bigger in Texas. It's massive. They are huge, and they make everything in house. So it's like it is a grocery store. You can buy normal shit, but they make everything in house, like full meals, meal prep, sushi. Like it's like as a scratch kitchen grocery store, basically. It's crazy.
Highly likely that the sushi chef or the sushi folks, they are independent contractors.
It could be. Yeah. They're probably not HEB employees, but yeah, I don't. They may also. I don't know how many HEBs there are, but yeah, they do everything in house, everything. So.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, but not much. I am also in the Marine Corps Reserve, so I just did my physical fitness test, and I'm just like fucking dying after the run. And I'm like, maybe the vape is the reason why my run time has been going down.
I would imagine. Yeah.
So I gotta get rid of it. Yeah.
I've never smoked, never vaped, none of it. Yep. No interest.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of it. After this one, I'm gonna get rid of it. But then you say that, and then once the juice is out, I'm just gonna go to the store and grab a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I drink to catch a nice little buzz and loosen up. Everything is like, obviously don't do either, but smoking is, I think, healthier for you, just as far as not cigarettes. Just if you're gonna catch a buzz, catching a buzz through that, not vape because the moisture is terrible for your lungs, but catching a buzz through like a dab pen, maybe, is like way better for you long term than alcohol. But I go the alcohol route.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of it. Hey, last comment. Sure. I saw on Twitter X, there was somebody posted a stimulation of 100 gorilla versus like some thousands man, and gorilla just smoke all of them.
Way more than 100 and still destroyed them.
Yeah, it was like I would say 100,000, almost like I don't know what's the actual number, but
so they just took the 100 versus 1 and just extrapolated it out.
Yeah, and gorilla just smoked the dudes. But
that's funny. I mean, listen, I was full blown on the 100 men side, full blown on that side, and then I told you I saw some zoologists and scientists and whatever else talk about the facts and like show videos of like, do you realize they could like break a tree in half? Just break a tree in half, clean like that, not a problem in the world. Then it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Then how is this gonna work?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in, man. A lot of interesting stuff.
Wait, next time if they have UFC Seattle, if you do come to Seattle, we'll try to link up. We'll do
I'll let you know. Photo. I go once or twice a year. I was there in January, so I'll let you know next time I go.
Okay. All right.
Have
a good one.
I appreciate you. This fucking, not him, my neighbor. My neighbor texted me, Kuyu, texted me, hey, can you help me move some heavy shit because I'm a weak, small, chubby little boy. And I said, yeah, I'm live right now. Give me a little bit. When I'm done, I'll help you. I know I'm the biggest, strongest, most masculine friend you have. I'll help you in a little bit. You small, stubby little man. Then, just now, about a minute ago, I hear beeping out front. So I'm like, it's this motherfucker. He's fucking with me. He's beeping the horn. Then, just now, as I was hanging up with Philip, he starts tapping on my window. That small little child, you tiny bitch. I hope you're watching on your phone. Clown shoe fuck. Here's a normal actual question, fight-wise. Angelo, this is from Tickin. Angelo, can you explain how you think the Tate fight goes over? A lot of people predicting something. Who's a lot of people? Who? Tell you what, Tickin, who is a lot of people predicting a sub? Who? Because I'll tell you right now, the odds aren't predicting that. I don't know if you know how odds work. The odds for this fight to go over are through the fucking roof. So the odds are not predicting a sub. And I'll tell you a couple of things. One, where would the sub come from? Miesha Tate? Miesha Tate is going to, out of nowhere, get a sub here? Oh, it wasn't even my neighbor. It was a different one. That's so funny. You hear my rant? Small little bitch. It wasn't neighbor number 1. It was neighbor number 2 that did the tapping. That's what happened. Fucking Tiny Tim over there said, can you help me move the furniture? I said, I'm live. So he must have called my other friend. And then my other friend went to go help him. So 2 bitches trying to, I can't wait to see these 2 undersized men try to move a normal sized couch. Pivot. Anyway, listen, in all seriousness here, the reason I think this fight goes over is because Miesha Tate fights once every couple of years, and she has not evolved with the sport. This is a different sport. And I fully understand Yana Santos isn't exactly 26 years old, but Yana Santos is a high-level kickboxer who has developed very good takedown defense. Show me where Yana's just getting sub left and right. For this comment to be a serious consideration, Angelo, can you explain why you think the Tate fight goes over? A lot of people predicting a sub. Genuinely, list out who a lot of people are. Give me 5 names of who said sub, and not like my buddy Carl or the 2 short nerds across the street from your house. Not them. List real people so I can hear who you're talking about. A lot of people, because I don't see it that way. If Miesha Tate wins, it is definitely grappling. I agree with you, but there's not going to be a sub. There's no way Yana Santos is going to get subbed by Miesha Tate. What I think happens is I think Yana Santos actually wins this fight. But even if she loses, it'll be a decision because she couldn't defend all the takedowns. Miesha Tate is old. She's slowing down. The fight years that she has on her are insane. Like, I know she's like 38, not 58, but she's 58 as far as fight years are concerned. Very inactive. She's got a lot of other stuff going on. I have a feeling she's showing up for the paycheck. So I do think this fight goes over. I'm pretty confident in that. $2 super chat from Jafar Raza. How do I join call in from website? Big fan. Appreciate you, Jafar. You didn't need to pay. Buddy, you sent a super chat to ask a question that's being answered on the scrolling bar underneath your super chat. So if you are a premium member, the only thing you need to do is log in to your premium membership, click account. And once you're logged into your account, you'll see a button or like red text that says call in, capital letters. Click that. There's a link. You hop on. Phone, computer, whatever it is. Okay. I see you, Anvi. I see you, Micah MacArthur. I'm going in order. Anvi was next. Anvi, what are you going to ask me on my fucking microphone? Hey, Angelo, I have my own podcast. What microphone do you use?
Yeah,
motherfucker, you called the shittiest internet I've ever seen in my entire life. You got a podcast?
Well, I fixed it, didn't I?
It is good now. Yeah, you're not blurry now. It is good now.
So,
you did. It is good now. You did fix it.
So can we trade info now then?
What?
So can we trade information now? Like, I want to know what that microphone is.
It shows it. Bang. It's a Shure. A Shure. I forget the exact model.
That's
it's
fine.
like their most.
That's all I need to see.
It's like the most popular. It's
yeah.
not cheap, but it's not unreasonable. Like, it's not like $300. So it's not cheap. Like, you can get a Blue Yeti for a little less. It's a little more than a Blue Yeti, which I had. My first ever podcast microphone's actually right there. I bought it used on Facebook Marketplace. First show we ever did was with that. I used that for years. And then exactly 1 year ago, I replaced it with this. And this is way better, but not a ton more money.
Yeah. So if I could pick who gets to go against the gorilla, the first person I'm picking, Philip. I don't want to hear no more boring ass stories again. Philip go first. Number 2.
Wait,
Mario
motherfucker,
Bautista.
dude, Philip gave us no, fuck you. I loved the Philip insight on how the grocery stores work.
I don't give a fuck about no grocery stores too.
Motherfucker, you look like you care about grocery stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do too. You the motherfucker in front of me.
Yeah. But I sat here saying I eat the sushi at the grocery store.
I eat the sushi. I don't care how the sausage is made.
You look like you do care about how
I
sausage
don't
is
care. I just care if it's in bacon or not. That's it.
made. Yeah.
You think I give a fuck?
Maybe you should start asking a few more questions.
Maybe.
Come
Anyway,
at me. Get the
number
fuck
one,
outta here.
Philip.
I will ride for my premium members.
I'm a premium member too, so
it's
friendly fire.
Yeah, but I'll still defend the wrong side of the friendly fire. I enjoyed that. I was the one driving that film. He just called to talk fights, and I was like, "Hold on, hold on, I have a question."
How does the sausage made?
Yeah, literally, that's exactly how that conversation went.
Number 2, Mario Bautista, self-explanatory. Number 3, Jacob's ex-girlfriend, because that's the reason he left. Number 4.
I was like, wait, what? I forgot what the list was that you were going through. It took me a second to figure it. James' ex-girlfriend. He'll send her first. Yeah.
Number 4, if the safety parlay misses,
What?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that gorilla.
Yeah. No, but I do have some questions about this Saturday, and then the next one I just need to know. Well, I'll just get the next one because it's just one.
Dude, it actually is fucking crazy, the difference in your internet. No joke.
Yeah, I know.
What were you using before? Just whatever the cable company gave you, like an idiot?
Yeah, just I don't know if you guys have Cox.
It doesn't matter. They just give you some bullshit all-in-one router. Yeah, like a router, modem, whatever, just one piece. Because like you would call in, it would cut out.
I showed the guy at Best Buy the clip from the stream, and I was like, "Look at me. Make sure I don't look like this." And he was like, "All right, I got you."
Yeah.
So
no, any mesh system will take care of it. Obviously, some are better than others, but they'll all take care of it.
Shout out Euro. But yeah, so who do you think wins next week between Valentina Shevchenko and Manon Farrow?
I think Manon wins that fight.
Really? That's what I heard too. I heard that
Manon's big. I was actually surprised Manon was the favorite. I thought I was onto something there, but it seems like a lot of people are onto it. Manon is big as fuck. She is strong as fuck, and she's a very good kickboxer. So I don't think Shevchenko is going to get the cheap takedowns that she was getting against little ass Alexa Grasso. Yeah. And Manon Farrow is a very good kickboxer.
Yeah.
I think the torch is passed.
I think for that one too, that night, I'm gonna just do a parlay with Natalia Silva because I just think her speed is gonna keep just tapping Alexa Grasso over and over. I might even bet the over on the strikes, and then I just don't see Bilal losing to JDM. No shot.
I have a parlay for you from our Josh the Web guy. Oh, he didn't list the names. Hold on, I got to figure out the names. The odds are plus 270. It was basically all the women. Oh, that's who it was. I got it. I don't need them. It was Natalia Silva, it was Manon Farrow, and it was Jasmine Jasudavicius. The three of them together plus 270.
She's fighting this I don't know.
Jasmine's fighting fucking Jessica Andrade.
Oh, that's easy. What?
Not this week.
When?
3:15.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, okay. I was just making sure.
Oh, I'm about to cook. Oh, wait. I can't wait.
She should win. Listen, she should. Here's my problem with Jasmine, and she did lose to Tracy. She should win, but there's a lot. Anytime, and this isn't logic that maybe should apply in all situations, but anytime.
That got mad at y'all, or was that Miranda?
No, that was Miranda Maverick, who I went out. I have her pickles here. I went out. I bought a $10 jar of pickles. I sent her $100, and I was like, "Thank you, appreciate it, whatever." And she doesn't know it was us. Like, she doesn't know like that I was in a video being like, "You're losing to Jasmine."
Pickles?
Listen. We make our money breaking down fighters. So if there's an opportunity to support them, we'll support them. Like,
yeah, easy. I can see why he was interested in that sushi talk.
Very simple. So anyway, I don't get that comment. That joke doesn't make any sense.
That boy you just love food so much you start spending extra money.
Well, the pickles were $10. It was a tip. The pickles were $10. The rest was a tip. Anyway, the fuck was I saying now? Oh, Jasmine. Yeah. So what worries me about her and other fighters that just keep winning is and this sounds so dumb, but like some of these fighters, you're not going to win forever. Like Jasmine's not going to be a world champion. She's not going to win forever. She's not going to be a world champion. So when is she going to lose? Her,
Right.
It's not quite as bad because she did lose to Tracy Cortez, and she actually lost to Natalia Silva as well. Hers isn't quite as bad, but there are other fighters that just keep winning. They keep winning. They keep getting good matchups. They keep winning. It's like 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 5 in a row. And then it starts to be like, I understand the odds say this and I understand whatever, but at a certain point, like, this person has to lose. Like, they're not as good as this win streak. Like, they have to lose soon. And I know on paper it doesn't look like it right now, but like they have to lose soon. So anytime I'm in a situation with like a Jasmine who's on like a really nice little win streak, doing really well, a step up, like I do get nervous because it's like,
Well, the reason I felt so confident right there after you told me that is because it's Jessica Andrade. So like,
she can't defend takedowns and she's small.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think Jasmine wins. She'll be the pick. You'll see on Sunday morning.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I agree with you.
What I did want to ask you about was Gillian Robertson.
Yes.
I was confident because I even looked into premium. Shout out premium. Everybody chose her, and then you guys were pretty confident about her. But then I listened to someone else, and it was a fighter, and he was like, I think Rodriguez has good potential to be a good underdog because she beat what's that one girl? Amanda Hebos and Mackenzie Dern, and he said Amanda Hebos has better takedown offense than Gillian Robertson. So I'm like, oh, that really struck a nerve with me. So I'm like, let me talk to my boy and see what he thinks.
So here's the thing. I have no bets on Gillian Robertson. No bets on her whatsoever. None, no parlay, nothing. Because there is some merit to that, right? Gillian is so much better on the ground, younger. Like, Gillian should win this fight. Absolutely should win this fight. But Marina Rodriguez has some life left in her. She's a very good striker. If Gillian cannot get the takedown, she's fucked. I'm still picking Gillian. I still do think she wins. And if she was a little more affordable, I would bet on her. The issue with the logic you just gave, which I know wasn't yours, it was somebody else's, but the issue with that logic is that Amanda Hebos fight was years ago. Years ago. And that's not the same fight. It's not as if she was defending Amanda's takedowns and then knocked her out. If that was the case, that's a great comparison, right?
Right.
That's not the case. That's not what happened. Mackenzie Dern is also a bad example because Mackenzie Dern's takedowns are quite literally the worst ever. There's never been a female fighter that has had worse offensive takedowns than Mackenzie Dern, especially when she fought Marina Rodriguez. So that's a bad example too. So the MMA math, I completely disagree with, but I do agree with the notion that Marina Rodriguez is a very good striker. And if she can defend a takedown, she will win this fight. I just don't think she will defend the takedowns.
Okay.
But I'm not betting on Gillian. She's not in a parlay. There's no Gillian. I would do Gillian Robertson inside the distance, decision, no action. I almost did it today. It was fucking juice to the gills. Juice to the gills. That's the problem. So yeah, it's like, and you know what? Juiced, if you have the money to spend, it's not crazy because if it's minus 300, that sounds crazy, but throw three units on it. You win one back or you get a refund.
Yeah, she's already minus 325, so this seems worth it.
It was actually close to her money line, and you do get a full refund.
Yeah.
And if your sports book allows you to parlay that, then that would be, I would parlay inside the distance, decision, no action, but I use Bet Online. They don't let you do that.
I don't think we have that because I'm in Vegas, so I just use whatever apps we have here.
Yeah. And a lot of like honestly, nowadays, Bet Online is the best sports book for betting on MMA because they have the earliest lines and the most amount of props. Where they do lack is allowing you to parlay different props.
Mm-hmm.
But as DraftKings is doing more and more of it, and DraftKings is getting lines early and earlier, I imagine BetOnline will follow suit. BetOnline started dropping same game parlays and other stuffs like that, new things. So I think we're close. But right now, I don't have the option to do these crazy parlay prop bets.
All right, I'm gonna take her off. I have this crazy parlay, and it's shit that you hate.
I'd keep it on. Just do it with much less money. Like, what I hate is when people do crazy parlays and it's not a quarter of a unit. It's fucking like 2 units. It's like, all right, then at that point, your units are either $1 and you don't give a fuck about them, and you're not doing like, then units mean nothing to you, or you're crazy. Like,
Yeah.
manage your units properly. Like, I'm one of the only people I feel like that uses units the way they're supposed to be used. Like, if I'm betting 5 units a week, 5.5, that's what it's supposed to be. People who have 39 units, one person, it's like, dude, then if you could put 4 units on one bet, your units are too small. They're too small.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, live that life. But the reason we speak in units is to level the playing field, because you might be betting $100 and I might be betting 10. So the only way that you and I could be on the same level is if we call those units instead of dollars. And if you're going to call it units, but you're still going to put 30 of them on a dumbass wild bet, then it's like, dude, you have no unit management. And I'm not trying to, this will get clipped and all that bullshit. I'm not trying to whatever. That dude, Clint, seems like the nicest human being in the world, but he'll put fucking 4 units on a plus 300 dog. And it's like, dude, your units have to be $10. They have to be $10. They have to be. Otherwise, and it's 100% fine if they are, but putting 4 units on an underdog, putting 2 units on a plus 600 parlay, that's not what units are meant for. That's not what they're meant. Just at that point, just say dollars. That'd be a more accurate situation. So go ahead. Tell me the parlay that I'll hate.
You're going to hate it, I'm telling you, because it has huge.
I hate them all.
favorites.
Tell me what it is, and then tell me the unit number.
All right. Robertson minus 325. Ryan Garcia minus 800.
So fuck. See, the value's gone. Drug addict, fucking drug addict, coming off a suspension. Ryan Garcia. But yeah, okay. In a corrupt sport.
Yeah, Rolly's not that good.
What was Ryan Garcia in his last fight that he won?
He was like plus something. He was because I'm pretty sure Devin Haney was like minus.
He was on
600.
the opposite side of those odds. So my point is.
Oh.
Go ahead. Yeah. Let's keep hearing. Let me hear the plus 1,000 or the minus 1,000 you got in there.
Devin Haney minus 1,000. No, it gets crazier. It gets crazier. Azamat Bekoev minus 400. Corey Sandhagen minus 550. Natalia Silva, I think minus 190. Bilal Muhammad minus 250. This is where it gets crazy. Canelo Alvarez minus 3,000.
Dude, this parlay's miss. Dude, do you know? So you would have to spend $3,000 to win 100.
Yeah, I know.
Why add it, dude?
Parlay.
You might remove it and make more money. You literally might remove it, and your parlay would have better odds at that point. I didn't know, dude. It's so funny. My Ecuadorian neighbor. We were outside. We were hanging out before this stream, and he's like, "You watching the Canelo fight this week?" I said, "I didn't even know he was fighting." He said, "Oh yeah." And then we talked about the whole thing. I said, "Is it a good fight or is it bullshit?" He's like, "No, it's a good fight." No. And now you're telling me that's not a good fucking fight, dude.
Minus 3,000. No. Ivana Petrovic minus 225.
God, dude, this parlay is a fucking disaster.
Why?
And sorry, real quick. I see you, Mike and with Arthur. I see you, MMA plays. I'll get to you in a minute. Sorry.
Yeah, let me get these off and I'm out. Gaston Bolanos minus 140.
Dude, just bet minus 140 straight up. This is what you should be fucking doing. Betting minus the 140 straight up. That's not bad. Avoiding the minus 800, minus 1,000, and everybody in between. That's your parlay. 2 separate bets.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it hits, then good for you. You're a genius and I helped you.
And then there's this Japanese guy. I don't even know how to say his name. I think his last name is like Inouen, but he's minus 5,000. So I'm going to hammer it.
That's
so
crazy,
plus
dude.
$100 plus 1,233. Quick little 1,300.
Dude, $100 and it was 6 legs and it's only plus whatever. That's fucking dumb. That's dumb.
233, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, that kind of parlay with that many people should be paying a mortgage.
Trying to chase a little 2 man. Come on.
Crazy, dude. Jesus Christ.
I wrote it down just for you.
You got to buy that fucking podcast microphone.
Yeah, I have to. I got to get this camera equipment somehow.
Shout out your podcast for the people.
The Real Thing podcast. I had a different podcast. I left it. Egos got involved. But this is my own thing. You can follow it on TikTok, Instagram. I think Instagram is The Real Thing Pod, and then everything else should be The Real Thing Podcast. So yeah, shout out Premium, shout out We Want Picks, the best in the business. You know what it is. Thank you, my Angelo.
All right, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in. All right, we got a couple more people in the queue. I'm just doing it in order. We got MMA Plays, Michael MacArthur. We're gonna go to MMA Plays, and then I'll get to you, Michael. MMA Plays, what do you want? A nice walk at night? Oh, motherfucker, you are muted. You are muted. Oh, you're in the car and I can't hear you? Oh, you better. Oh, we're going to count down. Oh, wait. I got you.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
All right,
now.
sorry
What's
about that.
on?
I had it plugged in. I have my phone on the stand and I'm on the highway, so I'm just driving along chatting with you.
Okay, well, don't look at this. We can't see you. You don't need to look at us. Just talk and look at the road.
Yeah, I'm not looking. Hey, a couple of things. First, I started listening to you guys about 4 years ago. I've been a member for the majority of the time. I had to stop for a little bit when I was saving for a house, but
I appreciate
shout
it.
out to you guys. Much love. Hopefully we get Jacob back and he gets in a nice headspace soon. Shout out to him as well. One other thing, I want to thank you personally. That plus 3.5, man, is
that
huge.
Shit.
I absolutely love the plus 3.5 play.
You're talking about specific bets. Oh, in general, plus 3.5 in general.
Yeah, just in general.
Okay.
I've actually enlightened a couple of people on it, and it's just one of my favorite plays to use. About 4 years ago, I started listening to you guys, and then about maybe a year and a half ago, I started actually posting my one play of the week, and the majority of them are the plus 3.5, and I'm actually 18-4 across 22 cards. So,
yeah, that's awesome. I like them when you get a big dog that shouldn't be a big. Listen, I have Daniel Marcos this week. We'll see if that plus 3.5 hits, but he's a big dog this week.
I have Marcos plus 3.5 and actually Yana Santos plus 3.5 as well. So I was going to tell you
that one's a little juiced, but that one is good as gold in my opinion. I've been wrong before.
I try and keep the my play of the week and my plus 3.5 that I'm using under 200, but I mean at plus or minus 205, it's right at the cusp. So I'll take it for that one.
Yana Santos was only minus 205.
Yeah, for the plus 3.5.
Oh shit! I might go have to place that after this because when I looked the other day, it was way worse.
Yeah, so I actually have a parlay, but I have 4 plays that I have a unit on each, and then a parlay that's this quarter unit. I have also a quarter unit on the round robin of it. But it's going to be Marcos plus 3.5, Yana Santos plus 3.5, and then I have Bo by decision and Corey by decision. I forget what it is. I want to say it's like plus
that's actually
something.
See, Anvi's dumbass is talking about that dumbest parlay I've ever heard in my life. That one is solid. The one you just walked through.
I appreciate that.
You said those are 4 independent bets and then a round robin. Oh, I lost you again. No audio. No audio whatsoever. Oh, man. We were just... I cannot hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. We can't hear you. Oh, man. Oh, it just got good, too. He's still talking. I think he thinks we can hear him. That's unfortunate. So what I think he's describing, and hopefully he's figuring out that we can't hear him, he's talking about a round robin. If you guys don't now, he's muted. He's fucking around with it. When we hear him, we'll come back. And he's gone. What a round robin is, that's a new term for a lot of you, I imagine. What a round robin is let's say in his case, he had 4 different bets. In those 4 bets, you have 4 different outcomes that need to happen. What a round robin does is it takes every single individual one and makes parlays. It'll be, so we have bet 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll take bet 1 and bet 2. That's a parlay. Bet 1, 2, and 3. That's a parlay. Bet 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a parlay. Bet 2 and 3 is a parlay. 2, 3, and 4 is a parlay. So it makes a whole bunch of parlays. So you'll throw, I'm making up a number, you'll throw, because it all depends on legs. Let's say you throw $80 or $100 at a parlay or at the round robin. It'll make 100 parlays. They're all $1, but they're all different sizes and whatever. So if you have a whole bunch of, the longer it is and the more picks you get right, the higher it pays out. but it protects you against a random loss out of nowhere. I can hear you again. We completely lost you there for a second.
Sorry about that. I think I hit a weak spot in the highway there. Yeah, the round robin I love. I mean, I'm with you on the parlays where there's always one miss, but I like to do my entire favorite plays for if I'm confident on each fight. I'll put out like an 8 or a 10 fight parlay, but it's a round robin. I don't really put much on the actual parlay or the round robins, but
are you the person who keeps emailing me to add a round robin to premium?
No, sir.
Somebody keeps doing that, and maybe I should do it because like last week would have been a perfect example because there was about 6 fighters that I was very confident in, and I had them in all sorts of different shit. And if I just put those 6 fighters in a round robin, we fucking lost you again. We can't hear shit from you right now. But if I put those 6 fighters in a round robin, the payout would have been unbelievable. So I'm a big round robin fan. Listen, I appreciate you calling in. I don't think it's a signal issue. I think you have a Bluetooth situation going on in your car. Next time you call in, we'll make sure that we don't have a car situation. Hold on. Somebody just asked if I'm still live. I don't think he knows I'm half drunk, but he's about to find out if he joins this show. Next time you call in, don't be in the car. I do think you have a Bluetooth issue, but I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for that. And let's do some round robins. Hold on. Okay. Michael, how we doing?
What's going on, man?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I hadn't seen you since 303, but was able to catch up with Jacob at UFC Tampa, and I want to tell on what that MMA Plays guy said. Prayers up to him to get him back on the feed and stuff. But
did you just say? Are you talking about MMA Plays or Jacob?
MMA Plays was talking about, can't wait for Jacob to come back.
Oh, motherfucker. I thought you said prayers to MMA Plays to get him back on the channel. I'm like, I don't know if that requires prayers, but you're talking about Jacob, so I get it now. Okay. I got it. That was on me. That one was on me.
Yeah. Jacob's going through stuff, whatever he's going through. I'm just saying prayers.
He's listen, Jacob is quite literally. I try to avoid, the amount of fucking comments and DMs about like what's up with Jacob. Jacob is quite literally my best friend. Quite literally my best friend. Like, this isn't a boy band. We weren't just 2 internet people smacked together. Like, we quite literally my best friend. He was before the show. He'll be after the show. Jacob we have different lives and different things. And he just hit a patch where he was like, fuck, man, I don't know what's going on in my life right now. Like, I just to be on camera in front of people and to try to be who they want me to be, I just right now can't do it. I'm very confident that Jacob will be totally fine, but I get it. Like, take a deep breath, figure it out. No pressure from me.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. I was just, when me and Carrie met y'all at 303, we had spent like a lot of time with y'all from the press conference, weigh-ins to the actual fight night, and we kind of butted up with y'all. So when I saw Jacob, was either a tweet or an Instagram story, he may have shared it, was talking about he was going to be off camera for a minute. I was kind of like, man, I hope he's getting through whatever he's getting through.
Yeah. Listen, I can't speak for the kid, but he's definitely he's still doing all the premium stuff, but he's still working on his stuff. I do have a caller in here, and I know I made you wait fucking forever.
And
I gotta boot you, but before I boot you,
I actually had MMA stuff coming.
All right, give me an MMA. All right, tell you what, we'll fucking do it as a threesome.
Do it, man.
No.
Right.
Let him do it.
All right, Josh is here.
Okay, let's go.
All right,
let him do it. Bring that shit to me, my man. Bring that shit
Let's
to me.
go.
What is your MMA thing?
He made it seem like it was some other fan, not Josh Thomson coming in.
He wouldn't boot somebody for some other fan, man.
I wouldn't boot you for that.
But man, do I look like I know he's a casual, but not this dude. No.
Ask Josh if he showed up when him and I were supposed to have a takedown competition. Ask me if he showed up.
Josh Thompson, I actually have a very personal question. Did you show up when y'all were supposed to have a takedown competition?
Yeah, did you?
No, I slept in.
It rained. It rained. It rained. He blamed it on the rain. Like
Anybody would have slept in. It was cold. It was in the middle of the winter. I'm like, come on, man. It was freezing outside. I'm like getting up at 5 a.m. to go wrestle some generic silverback.
I showed up. I was there.
Your wife rolled you out of bed.
Eric was there. Eric was there.
Your wife rolled you out of bed. Yeah, your wife's wanting you out of bed. My wife does not. She's like, yo, come cuddle. Your wife's like, get out of here. Taking up off his face.
Hey, Josh Thompson, I actually have a question separate from my MMA questions I originally had for Angelo, because I didn't know coming on.
Nobody did.
But I had a question for you now all of a sudden. So on Bet Online, which is what, Angelo and Jacob, they often
He's a Bet US guy.
Oh, you're a Bet US guy. Okay. So on Bet Online, they actually have for end of the year.
Go ahead. They have a what?
For end of the year heavyweight champions, you can bet on who you would pick.
Okay.
Angelo Bodetti was actually a choice, and he was plus, I believe it was like 8,000.
Yeah,
8,000. Right? I dropped to plus 7,000 after all the money came in on me.
But the thing was, he was a better. I think he was a.
I had better odds than
more
Tai
of a favorite than Tai Tuivasa. I was wondering, who would you put your money on given those particular odds?
I'm gonna take Tai Tuivasa, and let me explain to you why. And there's no other reason. There's no other reason. First off, the UFC doesn't even know if Angelo can make heavyweight. There's a super heavyweight division. Right? Like Angelo is, I don't know if you guys know, he will not make the heavyweight division without cutting a couple pounds. So, in that being said, he's not even a true heavyweight. He's a super heavyweight right now.
Also, first of all,
the weight
Josh,
limit is 265. Are you 265? Are you 265?
I'm under 265.
I didn't think so. I didn't think
your
so.
microphone isn't even, it's using your headphones, senior citizen Josh.
Geez.
Yeah.
Man, it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, it sure
This
is.
guy.
This is not your microphone. These are your headphones. Yeah, see? Look at the confused look. Yeah, look at that.
I think I started it like too soon.
Oh, look, would you look at that?
Did we join you now? Are we all there? Are we all there?
Now you're good. Now you're good.
See? Bottom line is, Angelo, can you even make the weight?
I swear on everything, and I have to pee right now, and if I did pee, I would weigh myself. I swear on everything. I've gained a few. I'm probably 260. I'm probably 262.
Angelo, you are not 260.
Dude, I'm 262.
That's what everyone says when they're like 275.
No,
right?
I'm not even lying up. I'm not even lying up or down. I'm not even lying
Michael,
down. I just saw you the other day.
Right? Like it's like when women lie about their age, right? Like this is him. This is what he does. He lies about his weight. This is what he does.
Well, I can't comment on the women thing, but I was with Angelo and Jacob at 303 International Fight Week of last year, and me and Kerry, was the guy that I came with. We spent a lot of time with Jacob, and because Angelo was off on the buffet line for the VIP, and I'm just. Can I ask you? That's all I'm doing is speaking.
Can I ask you this though, in the Nate Diaz voice? I'm not surprised, motherfucker. I'm not surprised. Right? Am I right or am I wrong? I'm not surprised, motherfucker. I
enjoy food. It's not ridiculous for me to enjoy food.
Yeah,
it's not an insane thing.
That's the thing, though. Is it a word? Is it enjoy or is it like it's just, I don't know. There's another word for it. It's got to be like impulsive. I don't know. It's like something. There's a word there that's just.
I think we
not enjoy though.
I think we need it. I mean, I would get a McFlurry pregnant if I could.
When you get up off the table, do you realize that you've eaten too much?
Every time, dude.
Listen,
you get literally.
You don't think about it. You don't think about it when you're there. Like you don't think about it and go like, "Damn,"
I eat like I'm going to the electric chair every time.
Jeez.
I was raised by immigrants. Italian immigrants.
Dude, I'm Mexican, bro. I'm Mexican. Like, dude, like we sit down, there's beans and rice and tortillas, brother. Like,
so you
eat until it's gone.
Yeah, you stick it in bones and eat. You're so skinny, and I wasn't so skinny, but I ate.
You know your grandparents lied to you, right? You're so skinny.
My mother, right now, my mother lies to me. I was there last week. Eat. You know what the funniest part about last week at Easter was?
God bless her soul.
I ate my ass off at Easter.
Oh,
I ate I was at my mom's house. She cooked it. I ate my ass off. And my cousin, listen, it wasn't that much. So my cousin goes, "Where do you put it all?" Because, like, yeah, I'm heavy, but I'm not like as heavy as I should be given how much I eat. And my uncle, in his thick Italian accent, goes, "What do you think? He's a fat stomach." And I was like, all right, like, okay, this is why I don't visit anymore. This is why we don't visit.
Nothing nice to say, huh? Nothing nice to say.
No,
that's messed up. Fat stomach. How did you decide to do a live show tonight? You know the PFL is going on right now.
Yeah, and Jacob was texting me earlier. He was like, the PFL has been on for 1.5 hours. There's been 2 fights and they just keep talking about nothing. Apparently the pacing is horrendous.
Let's talk about that. Their pacing for their TV network is horrible. I'm like, what are you guys doing, man? Just traffic them in, and I should use that terminology. Okay, bring the fighters in and bring the fighters out. Like
Josh's van.
Let the action just happen for itself. That's one of the things that I loved about like Bellator, UFC. Like their pace of their fights is on point. Like that, and that's one of the biggest things I think you're going to get away from when this TKO boxing with Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh. Is it the pacing of boxing is going to speed up? They're not going to let these main event guys walk out for 40 minutes with a fucking rapper you can't understand a word they're saying. They're going to let the guy walk out. If he wants to walk out with a rapper, cool. He's going to be lip singing, or it's just going to be his song basically off of there, and he's going to get out there and you're going to walk him out. They have a structure of like, hey, you got to get your ass moving. And they rehearse it the day before if you're one of those fighters that has this like routine.
Oh, an actual routine?
Yeah, like if you have a routine, like, you know, when Izzy did the whole
like MVP they would rehearse that.
No, MVPs is more like with the Izzy one where he actually had a moment where they broke dance and they're breakdancing and stuff like that. Remember, there was a Japanese fighter dressed up as like a girl, like a geisha girl. What was his name? Was it Sexyama?
No,
it was somebody else. Anyways, he was a real popular Japanese fighter. I can't remember his name. Damn, it's killing me because I fought in a card with him as well in Pride.
Not Yamamoto.
No, it wasn't Kid Yamamoto. No.
Yeah,
I didn't fight him. I
was a Japanese fighter.
Yeah, you just threw a normal one out there, right? Like just saying, like, oh, it was a Brazilian guy. His name was Silva.
Yeah. Silva. Right there.
Yeah, I can't remember. Anyways, their pacing though is on point, right? The Bellator pacing, the UFC pacing is on point. PFL just hasn't seemed to wrap their heads around it. And look, I did work one of their shows, and then I also did some stuff for them for OnlyFans. So I did like some behind the scenes for OnlyFans for them, because OnlyFans and I worked. You know, we're the very first podcast that Weighing In was that ever worked with OnlyFans.
I've only heard that from the promo. So, but yes, I do know that.
Yeah, so we're the very first. They never sponsored any or worked with any other. They never partnered with any other platform except for ours. We were the very first ones. So it was awesome, man. Like, they've been great to us. Like, and everyone's like, "Oh, you work for OnlyFans." I'm like, guys, they have a sports division. Pretty much.
You do have to explain. I imagine 90% of the time you have to
Johnson's
do the next
on there. Like, you know, you got Luke Rockhold, you got AJ McKee, you got Chris Cyborg, you got pro surfers, Formula One racers, NASCAR racers. I mean, you've got everyone. There's a whole sports area. What I do like about their algorithm, you know what that is? I'm giving you like a full like blown ad read right now.
Yeah, go
it's that basically like with OF. Like, if you
I promise you, everybody watching right now has an OnlyFans account. So
for sure.
Go ahead.
100%. 100%. People don't realize this. That you know what the number one credit card transaction company in the world is?
Is it really the whoever does OnlyFans?
No, Amazon is.
Oh, okay.
Do you know who number 2 is? OnlyFans.
Yeah.
OnlyFans. The number 2 credit card transaction company in the world is OnlyFans.
Well, because there's a lot of microtransactions, right? Like, hey, for $5.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably. But like, there's a lot of microtransactions for Amazon too.
Yeah, true.
You know, so if you think about it that way, right? Like, I got fucking 6 packages today from Amazon. You know, my fucking wife, man. Jeez. Anyways, right? And Angelo knows, right? You get shit at your door all the time.
Yeah, and it's brutal because the credit card associated to the Amazon account is like mine.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, weird. Just keep buying
Wait,
shit off Amazon.
maybe it's mine. Like I'm sorry.
Not everything is
married,
bullshit.
it's
but
yours.
not every
Yours.
there's some
You're
something we
married.
have-
It's yours. Yours.
yeah,
Michael,
well, yeah.
are you married?
I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not.
Oh, why are
What's
you
the
not?
holdup,
What's
bro?
wrong with
What's the
you?
holdup?
Yeah, what's
How old are
wrong
you?
with you? Let's hear it.
I've been accused of being picky, and there's a blessing and a curse of being able to read people well.
Well, at least you can read. Right. Michael, where do you live at, brother?
Yeah,
live
give
in-
me 5. I'm gonna pee real quick.
No,
You guys talk.
yeah, I'm gonna give you 5. Go ahead. Run
me
away,
2
buddy.
seconds.
Go run
Yeah,
away.
Give me 2
Michael, like you what is that? A Boston Red Sox?
it is. I'm
It
a
is.
diehard Red Sox fan. to the
Okay.
core.
So you live in Boston?
No, I'm about to shock you. I live in Mississippi.
Jesus, man, where'd you like? Really? How'd you end up a Boston fan?
So, my little league when I played baseball,
Okay.
when I was growing up, we were sponsored by like companies, like local companies, and it was 2004 was the first year that my little league actually started being called after like pro baseball teams. And at that point, I had not started watching pro baseball, so I didn't know any of the teams. But that year, we were the Red Sox. We won the Little League Championship for my age group. And, I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And Red Sox won the World Series 2004, so I just stuck with them ever since.
So you just bandwagoned it. You just said, "Hey."
I don't know about bandwagon. I mean,
Well, when they won the championship, and you just jump on the bandwagon when they win the championship.
I mean, I was 10.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you a little pass on that.
Yeah, I was 10, like 10 or 11. So like,
you got an NFL team?
I just jumped on it then, and then I stuck with them ever since. And
you got an NFL team?
Well, conveniently, let's see, 03, 04, or maybe 04 or 05 is when I rooted for the same Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Yeah, that is convenient.
Okay.
And that's why I'm telling you,
Boston World Series champions. Love the Boston. Love Boston. Come on.
No. So when it was in that 4-year stretch where the Patriots made the Super Bowl 3 of the 4 years, it was when they played the Eagles. When I was a kid, I did not watch football at all. Man, I didn't know.
I'm watching you real time make up stories. I'm like watching you just invent lies real time. It's crazy to see. This is a crazy process.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, the dude who talks like you is definitely an Eagles and a Red Sox fan. 100% of the time, anybody who talks like you is an Eagles.
This comes from the guy that's probably a Cowgirls and Stankies fan that hadn't won a championship.
And I love that.
Listen, I only watch UFC. And if I had to pick teams, which you grow up and everybody I know is a diehard fan, one side or another, Yankees, Giants, Rangers. And I guess if I have to, Knicks. I am starting to root for the Cowboys, which goes counter to being a Giants fan.
Josh,
I live here. I have friends that in my whole family. Like
I love sticking it to the Cowboys, man. My friends that are Cowboy fans, I love sticking it to. I actually send them all the Dak Prescott like memes and all. I'm constantly on them about whoever the receiver is, number 88. Is it Jerry Jeudy? What's his name? Who's the other guy? CeeDee Lamb. I'm constantly sending them like pics and then memes about how horrible he is and how much of a just ridiculous. I love it.
Josh, what did I tell you when he started talking shit about me making up stories? I've been an Eagles and a Red Sox fan since I was like 10, 11 years old. And I said, this sounds like a Stankies and Cowgirls fan.
Well, he is from Connecticut. They're all.
Yeah, I mean, how could you say? Yeah, of course, Yankees.
Are you there? You're a Yankees. You're not a Mets guy.
So when you grow up in Connecticut or New York or New Jersey, you are either Mets, Jets, like those are a pair, Mets, Jets, and like Islanders, or Yankees, Giants, Rangers. Like there's you're a unicorn if you're like a Yankees and a Mets fan. Like that's, or sorry, a Yankees and a Jets fan. That's a unicorn.
Oh, really?
It's Yankees, Giants, Mets, Jets.
Yeah, there's like one that like supposed to have like prestige, right? Like
Well,
snobs,
there's the classy
snobs,
ones, and then
you have the working class.
Well, Josh, who did he say he rooted for? He said he rooted for the Yankees or Stankies. I'm sorry, I mispronounced.
Oh, the
Stankies.
winningest team in the
And then he
history
said
of baseball.
he's now coming across from the Cowgirls. You know, I will tell you this, Josh. I'm 30 years old. The last time that the Dallas Cowgirls did anything of notice or like notoriety,
You weren't even born yet.
I was in diapers.
36 years ago.
I was in
You're not
diapers.
even fucking
Bag
born yet.
phones in a vehicle was a thing.
Yeah, no, the last time they won a Super Bowl, I think it was 36 years ago.
My favorite line, Josh, and you'll get this. My favorite line, because I still bust Cowboys fans' balls. I'm just here, dude. It's crazy. You live here now. It is crazy, dude. It's the Cowboys star is on the fire trucks. Like it is part of the culture. It's not nothing.
Everybody
it's
makes
live
mistakes.
flags.
No. Texas people are proud of whatever is in their area. They're proud of it. Like you go to Houston, they're rocking the Houston Texans, right? They're rocking the Houston Astros. Texas is proud of whatever is in front of them. And then when it wraps it all up, they're all super proud to be Texan. I ain't mad at it, man. I ain't mad at it at all, to be honest.
It is, dude. It is nice. Jacob, a quote from Jacob I'll never forget is he said, "Nobody loves anything more than Texans love Texas." And it's like, dude, that is actually 100% true.
Yeah, I agree with
proudest
that.
people in the world.
You know what's funny, right? Someone told me the other day too, like, you know why fucking people in here don't honk at each other? Like someone literally almost fucking ran into me today. Sideswiped me because I was in the turning lane, on the outside turning lane. Whoever was in the middle one, the front one, that you turn left, you could only turn left in that lane. She decided she wanted to fucking go straight. And like I went to turn, she fucking almost like T-boned me basically. And then I ended up driving side by side with her for a second, like honking at her. But the reason why you don't honk at people here is because fucking everyone carries guns.
You get shot. Yeah,
everyone carries guns. Which that keeps the road rage down a little bit though when you realize, hey, if I'm not Doc Holliday, I could fucking be dead here soon. I could end up like Ringo Starr. Fucking done.
Is there a lot of people waiting after me?
There's a couple.
Oh, I've got actual MMA questions.
All right, give us the MMA.
I know
let's do the MMA questions.
For a minute, but I want to get some of the answers.
Let's go.
Now, especially when we got Josh on.
Well,
thank you very much.
I want to get my Poirier Holloway.
Spit it out, bro. Spit it out.
Poirier Holloway, New Orleans, July. I was wanting to get y'all's prediction.
He won that fight 3 times already, man.
2 times.
2 times already. He will win that fight 3 times.
Okay, you want the prediction?
Prediction. I guess that was Angelo's prediction. I
mean,
yours.
The prediction is, look, I think honestly, it's gonna be a better fight than the first 2. Reason being, when they were at 45, neither one of them had anywhere near the experience and the maturity that they have now. The second fight, Max Holloway didn't have the time to go up to 55. He literally took it on short notice, tried to jump up there and fight that fight. Didn't have the proper time to put the weight on. And you saw when he puts the weight on properly, what he can do at 55, like he did against Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje's got to win over Dustin Poirier. And I'm a huge Dustin fan. Huge. Like literally like probably one of my all-time favorite fighters. When I say this, and I say this just trying to be as honest as I possibly can be. This is going to be a really, really tough fight for Dustin. And what scares me the most, what also doesn't scare me though, what scares me the most is that is he fighting like this is my last hurrah, like go ahead, just let it all hang out, which I think is gonna be a fun fight. Like he said, I'm gonna walk to the center of the cage and we're just gonna throw. Then you know what? In that moment, anything can happen. Anything can happen. And here's the thing: I truly believe that Dustin might actually do that. Because like it's my last hurrah. I'm gonna go out, whether I get knocked out or I knock him the fuck out. I'm going to do this for the fans. It's my last hurrah. He's going to make a shit ton of money off this fight. Shit ton. They're giving him a little bit of they're going to take care of him. They know it's his last one. He's prepared. Look, when you give the UFC notice and with his recognition that he's brought to the UFC, they're going to do him a solid, man. They're going to do it. I'm not saying they're going to overpay him, but they're simply going to like, hey, we understand this is your last one. Go out on top. They're going to bonus him. They're going to do everything. They're going to do whatever they can to give him the most money when he leaves that door. Max Holloway's going to still be there. So he'll still have some more fights. But it's going to be a good fight, man. It's going to be tougher than the first two fights for both of them. It really is. One doesn't want to go out being knocked out, and the other one, doesn't want to. He wants to get his career kickstarted back up after his Ilya Topuria loss. And I think the weight class for Max Holloway is 155. Yeah. And he made it very clear when he fought Justin Gaethje and had a great performance. He's faster with the hands, good boxing, hard to take down. Now, Justin was also a tailor-made opponent for him, just like Max was a tailor-made opponent for Justin. Neither one was trying to get takedowns. You knew it was going to be a great fight. Dustin Poirier is very similar. I think if Max is going to have the time to get the weight on properly, and I think it's going to be a fantastic fight. It's going to be harder than people are giving Max credit for.
Well, I agree with you. When Max went up to fight Gaethje at 300, he had I forget how much time. He had plenty of time to stack on the weight to get to 55, right? Where when he fought Poirier the first time at 55 for that interim title, he really didn't look any different than he did at a 45 title fight.
Yeah, no, look, he walks around big. He probably walks around about 175 anyways, 175, 178. That's what he walks around at. So when he fought Dustin the second time at 155, I mean, he pretty much just fought him at walk around weight, and he fought him on short notice. He didn't have a full camp for that fight.
Yeah, and then Poirier has actually already said that he's wanting it to be like a brawl.
Yeah.
I forget what interview it was. It wasn't like a mainstream interview, but it was some interview where he said he wants to be like a brawl, like a just drag out BMF actual fight. I actually have the upset on that, of where I'm going to pick Poirier because I think Holloway.
Wait, Max is the favorite?
Yeah, I think Max is the favorite.
Let me see.
I don't know about
how
that.
the hell is Max the favorite?
I don't know about that. Actually.
Yeah,
dude.
Yes.
Kind of weird.
Let me check that out.
Yes.
I don't think so, because Max has lost twice to him.
Twice? Yeah.
Okay, the first time.
And Poirier
time,
just went to hell and back with Islam.
No, the first time Max was like 20 or whatever he was at 45, and Poirier was cutting a hell of a lot of weight. And the second time, it was the fight at 55.
Dude, Dustin's the minus 120 favorite.
Yeah.
When
this is why you're not married.
See, this is shit that you pulled last time when I did this call-in video. See, Josh, you don't know about this. I messaged Angelo and said, hey, I want to talk about the MVP Shar fight because I had like a strong opinion about it. And he was like, yeah, we'll get you on. We'll do it. And once we get on, I start to talk, and he was like, it's like, what the fuck? Completely throw it all. And I believe blank. If you were to go watch that particular podcast on that particular call-in show, you're gonna see me talk like a fool. I had a whole breakdown talking about how MVP's a little taller, he's a little longer, he's a little bit more athletic, talking about he's gonna be getting out of shots, and he's gonna probably knock out Shara. Angelo, as soon as I get on, I ain't saying six words. As soon as I get on, Angelo's like, oh, what the fuck you been talking about?
I picked MVP and bet on him.
No, I'm talking about me. As soon as I'm about to break down the fight, you was like, oh, you've been talking about it for 2 hours, wanting to talk about the fight. Completely threw me off.
Okay. That's the thing. That's the thing with Angelo, man. He's good with his words, bro. That's how he got his wife. Have you seen his wife, man? She's a smoke show. Doctor. He's got lucky, man. He got lucky. She's a smoke show, man. He outpunted the coverage. I got to be honest, man.
She's mean. No, she's
a guy like him should never land a wife like her. Never. So,
but she's mean, and I have thick skin, so that's
well. I've never seen his wife, but I have one question for both of y'all. So the food vlogs for the pay-per-views, Angelo, UFC 318, New Orleans.
I'm definitely going to 317. That's booked. It's done. The tickets don't exist yet, but we have flights and hotels. So I'm definitely going to 317. I've never been to New Orleans ever, so I might go to 318. I've never been.
Cajun food is there's no second place.
I don't eat
Cajun
crawfish,
food,
but I'll eat the rest of it.
are you
Why
gonna
do you not
come?
eat crawfish?
Dude, you came to my house for a boil. There wasn't a crawfish in sight. There was regular.
Yeah, I was too busy eating the lobster, bro.
Yeah, there was other regular
Eating lobster.
non-crawfish.
Yeah, I mean, well, it took 9 hours to make fucking 4 lobsters. So I was making sure I enjoyed the shit out of that.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, you got any more questions?
Now I was gonna ask any chance either one of y'all are at UFC 318 for New Orleans.
It's a maybe for me.
Small chance. I got
All
I got 2 young kids, man. There's just no way I'm traveling very much unless I get paid for it.
That's all I got, guys. I appreciate y'all's time.
My man.
See you, dude.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Michael, take a good one, man.
Peace.
Yeah.
My
Josh,
man.
what's going on? You joined I'm 8 deep. So
That's all right. I had
that's
4.
when you did.
I went to PGA and I had 2 there.
Oh, nice.
I went to Testa Pizza, had 2 there. Have you been to
Oh,
Testa?
in Frisco?
Yeah.
Downtown Frisco. You know what's
Yep.
funny? I hate it because this is Fat Angelo talking. It's Neapolitan pizza. And Neapolitan pizza has that, they cook it in like 30 seconds at 1,000 degrees. I don't like the way that's made. But my mother, the little immigrant from Italy, anytime she's from Naples. So anytime she visits, she wants Pizzeria Testa. She literally wants Pizzeria Testa. She's like, it's some of the best I've ever had. I'm like, I hate that.
The dude's from
She loves it.
he's from Italy, man. The place
Oh,
is
and she
fucking
can't
awesome.
wait to
The
be like,
bread's good. It's so good, man. Different styles. You get the meat, you got the meat and mushroom, you got the fucking, it's so good, man.
the prosciutto with the balsamic one is good. Yeah. No, I listen. The flavors are good. I just don't like Neapolitan, like the way the crust is. I like good old fashioned New York, like you bend it like this, you hear a crack and a snap. Like that's what I like.
I got it. Like, see, I have a problem like today, right? Like one of the pizzas came out and the kids were like, the crust is burnt. You know, because that's what happens.
Neapolitan. Yeah,
that's Neapolitan. So that's what happens. So they're like, they wouldn't eat the crust. And I'm like, and I'm over here trying to tell my kids, you gotta eat the crust. And all of a sudden he brings it out, it's like fucking burnt. I'm like, yeah, I don't have to eat that.
It's literally that oven's probably 900 degrees, maybe 1,000, and they make that, and that pizza's made in 30 to 45 seconds.
Yeah, we gotta get you a sauna suit, man. Throw you fucking in that thing.
Okay, first of all. Actually, my neighbor texted here. Let's hear your opinion. My neighbor was like, hey, I got to lose a few pounds. Is a sauna suit just for like immediate weight loss? And I was like, no, you can use it because your body has to work 2 times as hard to cool you off than it does to warm you up. So you'll rehydrate after, where like a wrestler won't, right? You'll just lose the weight and leave it off. Yeah. But you're burning more calories with the sauna suit on. So if you want to work out with a sauna suit, it will benefit you long term.
Yeah.
You agree or disagree?
Yeah, it will. But like for me, everything is in moderation, right? Like, so people think they have to wear the sauna suit for like an hour while they work out. No. You just wear it to break a sweat. And once you get a good, nice sweat and strip it out of your fucking, out of the wrists and out of your ankles, take it off. And then put your sweater back on and your sweats back on and go out there and fucking actually work hard for once in your life. You know, and then that's the reality is it does make you better. It does. It starts to speed up your metabolism. And it allows you to like burn that extra little bit of fat off that little belly there you got, like from whether it's beer, whether it's sugar.
Little belly, yeah.
I've got a little pooch going on right now, man. It's getting rough, man. It's getting rough. You got any more callers?
I do.
You want to do somebody else?
We can do. It's up to you. We got a caller right here.
I got like I spent all day with the kids. Had my niece in town.
California. Go. Yeah. Go.
No. Like they're in the shower. They're getting ready for bed. My niece is gonna put them to bed. Read them a book story. Like this is like their time to like spend with their cousin, and they love it, man. So she's like, I got them. Don't worry about it. My wife's like just chilling. So no, we're good, man. Let's go. All
right, here we go.
Home, I was like, you know what? Let's see what Angelo's doing.
This is what Angelo's doing. MMA plays. How are you? Welcome.
Fixed my phone. I'm good to go now. Sorry.
There we go.
Josh Thompson, your legend, sir.
My man, appreciate it. Thank you.
So wait, you knew who Josh was?
Oh, this
is meaning like you've been watching long enough?
So I've been watching since UFC 1. My dad grew up with Keith Hackney, so I mean I've been UFC is the only thing that I watch.
There you go.
Does your dad still know Keith?
I'm sorry?
Does your dad still know Keith?
I believe so. I don't know if they keep in touch too much, but he grew up with him, went to high school. He was over at my house about a week or two after the initial Giant Killer fight. So I got one of those pictures framed of him.
Keith Hackney is the dude who punched Joe's
Emmanuel
son in the
something.
nuts. No,
Yeah, he
Joe's
was,
son punched Joe's son in the nuts like 5 times.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I love it.
But I have a play that spans across a couple of different cards. I normally don't do parlays. I was talking about you with this earlier. I just don't know if the play came through because my phone cut out. So it's going to be Bo money line, Corey money line, Manan, Jose Aldo, Bilal, Marab.
Okay, so Bo nickel money line is probably the riskiest one in that. That fight can go any direction, including finish.
Honestly, that's the only one that I was going to do the alt method double chance. I almost wanted to put Bo by decision / Rainer by sub for a little bit more safety.
And then Manon Farrow, I think Josh and I both think Manon Farrow wins, right? We talked about that a little while ago.
Yeah, I see her as just a better version, or I mean, a younger, newer version of Valentina.
Stronger, bigger too. And then I think Josh and I also both think Bilal wins.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Got to support my Chi-Town guy.
Yeah. Here, the thing with Bo Nickel, right? Let's go back to Bo Nickel. I think Bo's going to win, but it's probably going to go the distance. I think it's also going to be a boring fight.
Yeah.
I think Bo's going to have to sprawl and brawl. Yeah, he's going to sprawl and brawl. He's going to try and catch him with a big shot. Just keep his hips away. You know, De Ritter doesn't have really good takedowns. He's good in the clinch, though. Are you trying to like take me into your room?
Yeah, what the fuck's going on?
Dark in there?
No, I'm in the garage right before I go in the house. My toddler and my puppy. It's crazy as soon as I open the door, so I'm just talking to y'all in the garage before I go in.
I was like, "What's going on, man? You taking me in the closet? What's going on?"
Josh just got out of it.
Bo, to me though, I think he's going to end up winning this fight. He's going to have enough to keep his back off the fence. He's just got to be careful that the high knees up the middle that may catch him on the chin, because De Ritter is a tall, long, lanky guy. He's got good knees. Outside of that, though, I mean, I don't think he's going to get caught with anything. You know, grappling wise,
smart. He keeps his distance when he wants to.
Yeah, he's sufficient enough on the ground. You know, watch his fight. I know with Gordon Ryan's a different level though too than.
And there was stipulations to that match, but still, I mean, Gordon's not having his way with him, I don't see Rainer doing it.
Yeah, I mean, like everything does change though when punches are being thrown.
Yeah.
So submission wise, right? Gordon Ryan won't be the same fighter if I started throwing punches in his face.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like he's not gonna be the same grappler. So that's just something to keep in perspective when you're talking about like that type of transaction with those guys on the ground.
Yeah. With them,
Bo, the fight always starts on the feet every round. That's one thing to take into consideration. When you take that into consideration, he's got to get him down 3 times, and he's got to be able to hold him down 3 times. I'm sorry, but have you ever seen Bo Nickel wrestle when he was at Penn State?
Yeah.
First off, getting a takedown is fucking unheard of. And then when you do get him down, hold him down. He's one of those, like, not Ben Askren style because he's not as flexible.
Yeah, he's not as
funky like that. Yeah. But his wrestling is obviously second, like basically one of the best ever. And so when I look at him, I don't think De Ritter's going to get him down. I think Bo's going to be able to land some big shots. I think if I was going to take someone to win by finish, I would probably take Bo to win by knockout. But that's even a stretch, to be honest. I think it's going to be in a boring snooze fest fight, which sucks because I want Bo to have success. But I think it's going to be boring. For Bo to win, he's got to make it a boring fight.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, why change his game plan from last fight? It's essentially the same fighter that going against.
So you have.
Hold on real quick. I agree. It's similar to his last fight because De Ritter's great on the ground. Paul Craig was great on the ground, but De Ritter's fucking huge. He's a
massive.
giant.
He's so long.
Yeah, and he's got better takedowns than Paul Craig. And I totally understand. I get it.
Angelo's got better takedowns than Paul Craig.
I also said, that's an objective fact. I also said, I say that I didn't think Bo could take down that the Instagram kid to take me down with $1,000.
Oh yeah, the grit.
I might be. Yeah, I might be underestimating a little bit, but it's not insane if Bo does end up in some weird scramble. To your point, punches are thrown. You use Gordon Ryan as an example, but if you use Bo as the same example, when punches are being flung and Renee will just bomb away, if he starts bombing away and then shoots some sneaky takedown, there's a world where there's a weird scramble and Renee ends up on top.
There is. What world is that? Do you even live on that? Do you know what that world is named? Because I don't believe that at all.
It's the same world.
Strike. It's horrible. It's disgusting.
It's the same world where community college John Jones took down Olympian Daniel Cormier. It's that same world.
Oh no.
I love
Jeez,
it.
man.
It's MMA. I know wrestling's
Community
different.
college.
But
you know that DC went to community college too, right? Before he went to
Well, yeah, and it wasn't. That was just me. Just
Just-
said I'm good with words. Like it wasn't community. Yeah, it was. It's what the hell they call it?
No idea, man. You're obviously not good with words if you can't come up with them.
Yeah, I can't think. What the hell is it called when you go to? It's like 2 years to get yourself right to go to D1 because the grades weren't great.
Yeah, it's called junior college.
Junior
feel ya.
college. There we
There
go.
you go.
junior
JUCO.
college.
You call it JUCO.
JUCO. Yes.
Yeah, JUCO.
all right, boys. Well, I just got home. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go and take care of the toddler. You cool if I
All right, man.
if I give a
Best
shout
of
out to my
luck.
page?
Best of
We'll
luck.
give a shout out to your page. Go for
All
it.
right, MMA plays on Instagram, and then Jay's plays and Paulie's plays. Us two combined are MMA's plays. So appreciate you
Nice
guys.
work, man. Keep it up, brother.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it,
man.
man.
Love the
Good
show.
luck.
I guess.
See ya. Listen, I'm a
We
few
need
deep,
more. We need more.
as
Let's
I
go.
mentioned. Well, there's a few callers in the queue, but none of them have their cameras on. I can't put them on here without a camera on.
Can't
'cause
put them on. Let's put your camera
God
on. man.
knows what they're
go.
going to say.
I
So,
know. I want to.
yeah.
I want to put face to action. If you guys say something really
At least you
retarded,
have the, yeah.
I need to be able to put your face to this and blast you out.
Yeah, I'm not worried
Yeah.
about dumb. I'm worried about
Yeah.
worried about a million other things. Dumb happens. I'm worried about a million other things. So policy is always camera.
I'm
There's
okay
4
with
people in
dumb.
the
I
queue.
mean, look, we've all made those dumb decisions.
Well, most of us, yeah, sure. Some.
Bro.
So occasionally.
Oh.
Bet Sam is like desperate to talk to you. I can't imagine what questions he's going to have, but he's desperate to ask some questions for this weekend. I said I think Corey Sandhagen's odds are correct. He's a wild favorite, and I think he should be.
What are the odds? What do you got there?
He ballooned up to minus 700, and I agree.
Wow.
Dude, I think he's younger,
I agree.
bigger, faster, stronger. Like
I agree. You know, I mean, I would take Corey. Look, Corey is better than him pretty much everywhere.
literally,
bet-
other than just raw one punch windmill power.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, look, Corey's the footwork, the way he switches stances, the way he feints, the way he gives you little subtle movements that throw you off. Like Corey is just nasty, sneaky on the feet. Plus, his height causes problems for everyone. The knee up the middle, the uppercuts, the push kicks to the body, to the face. He can do it all, man. He can do it all. And look, we saw with the Umar Nurmagomedov fight, he's extremely difficult to take down.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to make you work for it. I don't think that Figgy can wrestle at the level of Umar Nurmagomedov for 5 rounds.
No.
And without getting tired. And so he's going to have to stand and bang. And the last thing you want to do with Sandhagen is stand with him. So those two things together now, also too, Corey Sandhagen is not bad off of his back. He's gotten a lot better if you can get him there now. And so when I take a look at all those, shit, a minus 700, I mean, that's too rich for my blood. But the bottom line is I would if I would have got better odds on that, I would have taken that. The over under though is what's interesting to me. Like, what's the over under? I think we had
4.5 rounds. It's basically saying go to listen. I gotta piss again. Give me 2 seconds. Talk about that over. I'm sorry, dude. I had 8 of them before you showed up. Just talk about that over under again. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll give you guys the real hints on all this stuff. But hey, make sure you guys, if you guys are in the comment section, drop some questions, man. We'll go ahead and I'll try to hit those up for you guys. Especially now that I'm here. Okay. So Angelo, running rookie show, amateur hour over here. So let me go ahead and step in and do this for you guys. Look, I look at Sandhagen as somebody that I look for him to get the finish in this fight. I think Figgy will start to slow down around round 3, possibly even round 4 if he can get that far. But I'm going to say around 3, he's going to start realizing how difficult it is to get Corey down, how difficult it is to hold Corey down if he does get him down. And then outside of that, on the feet, Corey's the better guy. Look for Corey to start just sticking and moving, picking him apart. And then as he does that, you're going to see that Figgy's going to get pretty tired here quick. So that being said, I think by round 3 into 4, so that 2.5 is kind of the right mark. But I mean, like, I would probably go over on the finish, but I think Corey's going to finish him in the over if I was to take it, though, at 2.5. I don't know what the odds are on that because I don't know what Angelo was saying. But yeah, I look at it that way with Sandhagen. He's fantastic, man. If you guys with a win over Figgy, I wouldn't be surprised if he's next in line for the title shot. I believe that Dana loves him enough to give him that title shot. He just had a run of bad luck, but I got to give him credit because he's also someone that didn't have to fight Umar Nurmagomedov. And he's like, no, I'll fight him. All the other guys in that weight class have been ducking Umar for the longest time. Now that I don't have to say that everyone knows I'm a little biased when it comes to my boy Umar, but the thing is that Dana's made it very clear. Like when it comes to like Islam, when it came to Umar, when it comes to a lot of the daggy guys that come out of Habib's camp, these guys don't want to fight him. And when Usman Nurmagomedov from Bellator or PFL, Bellator, when he comes over, these guys are going to kind of avoid him then also. So just look for that to happen. It just comes down to they're not sure how to deal with them. They're not sure until there's a bigger sample size on how to deal with them. Like Umar is a stud, but I think Corey is right there, just that little bit. Umar was able to beat him convincingly in that fight, but one or two shots the other way could have changed the outcome of that fight, just to be honest.
Well, and if Umar didn't break his hand in the fight against Merab, he might be the champion right now.
I think he would have been.
Those first 2 rounds were pretty clear who the actual better fighter is. Whether it was the hand or cardio, things change, but skill for skill, Umar's the better fighter. We saw that in the first 2 rounds when they're both fresh.
Yeah, that's what people don't seem to understand. Like when something gets hurt, right? In my Benson Henderson fight, like I tore all the ligaments of my thumb into my wrist, broke my thumb as well in 2 places, had 2 pins put in it, all these other things, tore some ligaments into my wrist and into my hand. It was disgusting. All I could think about was my hand. Like, should it be like this? Is like, how fucked up is it going to be? Am I going to be able to fight again soon? Like, you're in the middle of the fight, and this is exactly what I'm thinking. With Umar, right? He's like, this is my title shot. I can't believe this is happening to me. Like, what's going on? Like, those are the things that go. Like, I've waited my whole career to get here. I've put in so much work. Look for him to come back with a vengeance. I think he's going to end up being champion here, probably by the end of 2025. But look, I think that he showed that he was the better fighter in the first 2 rounds. The injury kicked in. The conditioning gets affected too. The more you think about the injury, the more you panic about like the fact that you're losing your opportunity. It starts to weather the storm. Oh shit! Sorry, I'm watching the PFL right now. The fucking lights just went off in the arena mid-fight.
What a clown show!
That lets you know what a fucking shit show. Are you kidding me? In the middle of the heavyweight fight, when Moldavsky and Bilastini,
So what do? They just keep fighting, or they tell them to stop?
They stop for a second, and then the lights flicker back on. Jeez, man,
that's so.
But
funny.
Yeah, that just explains the PFL all in one clip right there.
Yeah, for sure. We do have a few callers if you're good for it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Look, I got some time, man. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. I might have to pee 8 more times.
Jesus, it's all right. If you got 8 more times in you, go for it.
Hey, what up?
I broke that seal. So we got Bet Sam here. What's going on? Bet Sam from New Zealand.
New Zealand from New Zealand, brother. Yeah, from the land of the long white cloud, aka Israel Adesanya, Kai Kara France, Dan Hooker, all that, and now Navajo Stealing too, my boy.
Were you born there?
Yeah, man. Born in New Zealand. Yeah, born and raised. Yeah.
You do the dance and everything like that?
The dance? Oh, the haka? Yeah, I'm not gonna bust one out right now, but yeah, I
wait. So wait, hold on.
Same as from embarrassing you, but yes, I would love to see it though. If you want to go ahead and just give us
maybe next time. It's also going to be super loud for the viewers, but no, like the haka is performed often. Generally, our most popular sport is rugby, right? Like above all else, it's like New Zealand's version of NFL. That famously everybody says, "Oh, we don't wear helmets or pads," and there's no breaks. Like it's a 2-half game, 45 minutes a half. It's probably one of the like heavier cardio sports that out there. Really.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what everybody grows up playing. And the haka is a Māori, which is the indigenous people of New Zealand. It's their war dance, basically. Like their announcement of war that they used to do within tribes, etc.
Yeah.
And the way that it's most commonly used now is either welcoming people onto maraes, which is like sacred grounds for Māori people, or within sports games, which is where it's most commonly seen, Olympics, that sort of thing. So everybody grows up. If you do rugby and you make it to university type level or intercollegiate or inter-region rugby, then you start doing hakas, to sort of amp your team up. And so, you'll do a haka and then the other team will do a haka and then everybody's fucking, pumping, the adrenaline's running through everybody to start the game off. And that really causes... You go.
When do you learn a haka? I'm sorry. When do you learn it? Like as a little kid, everybody knows a haka, or you learn it when you play a sport?
So in middle school, I would say is where it starts to become more prevalent, where people, they can either join kapa haka groups, which is like where people do like the dancing and the singing for Māori people, or it's done in sports games as of sort of 13 years old and ahead of them. But yeah, I've not done a haka in years because I've not played sports in a long time. But yeah, like a basic thing would be like you can't do it quiet though. Like you can't do a haka and
to
be
the
like,
screen. The microphone will correct
weird.
itself to the screen.
But like,
no, I just want the face, man. I want the.
Nah, the pukana. Well, the pukana is kind of that's kind of a thing that only like the leading person or leading people will do. So that's not something I necessarily did because that'll be the people walking in the front. Or I was sort of one of the bigger guys when I was younger because I hit puberty like a fucking truck. By the time I was 12, I had stopped growing, and then I thought I was going to be like 6'5" because I grew from like 5'5" to 6 foot like in 1.5 years, and I was like, fuck, I'm going to be massive. But puberty was just done with me by 13. So. But I was one of the bigger kids in like the younger team. And but yeah, so a basic haka would be like they'd say something like it'd be like and then they'll be like, then they'll start like smacking each other and like you really get into it as well, and you take your shirt off, like you rip your chest and stuff. They'll be like, yeah, you see them, they like do this and they like rip into it. And then there'll be somebody as well behind you if you're like in the front row, and they'll like start smacking you on the back and shit to kind of amp the people up as well. And they sort of march in front of you. It's honestly like, as far as like a declaration of war, probably one of the cooler things around the world.
It is
fucking
war.
sick,
Did you say declaration of war?
He did.
Yeah, like so the original haka declaration.
Oh, declaration. Okay. I thought you said declaration. I was like, what are you fucking talking about, bro?
Declaration.
You're talking about dick? What the fuck?
They're going to get after it.
Bro,
watch out, ladies.
You had me amped up, though, right? I was like,
yeah. It's definitely, it's been a long time. And maybe one day I'll bust out a full-blown haka for the boys.
I need the camera to be back. I don't want to just
I was gonna say I'll flip it around, jump out there, and get one of my boys around. Maybe I'll get Adam in here. We can duo it. Get Adam around.
I have a question though. Like, because you guys do the haka. Have you guys ever just thought about smelling salts? It does the same shit.
Just getting amped up.
Get you all amped up. Fires up the fucking brain nerves.
I think if you see a haka in person, you'll disagree. It's
okay.
You feel you imagine. Because the rugby team is 15 guys fucking all getting amped up and they're all doing their own thing. It's not so much like everybody's doing the same thing. And then sometimes, you'll be 5 or 10 meters away from the other team and you're shit's about to go down. It's like, it's pretty hectic as well. Especially when, you're playing a team that's known to be like quite aggressive and they're like, have a lot of moldy people. Mm-hmm. And so like they bring a lot of the energy to the haka and you're like, wait, man, this is, we're really going to have to get after it. Even if your team's like the better team, like for example, I played for Cambridge, which is like a team here in the North Island, and we won New Zealand secondary schools when I was in it. But we would play certain teams and just the energy and the aggression they would bring early on in the games was, like, even though you're like, we're better skills, we're going to pass the ball, we're going to win, but you still be like, this first 10, 15 minutes is going to suck. Like it's really going to hurt busting into these people because they're going to be gassed up. So it's kind of like that, I'm sure you probably have experiences with that in fights where you knew, I'm probably the better fighter here, but I'm still going to have to take on somebody. And this first 5 minutes is going to be a bit of a hurricane or a whirlwind because, certain people bring it.
I don't think ever in my career that I ever won the first round. I always had to fight from behind. So I was like, yeah, the first round is going to fucking suck.
I think you beat Nate Diaz round 1. No, round 2. You don't think so? You finished him round 2, but you won the first round.
I won that first round. Yeah, I kicked him in the head twice. Yeah, it was super slow.
Can I ask you a question about Nate Diaz? Do you find it bizarre how much success he had within the UFC?
No. Want to know why?
Why?
His brother laid the groundwork for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You have to remember, it was a legacy that's carried on forever. People sometimes now forget that, like, Nate is not Nick. Nick did all the hard work. Nick laid all the groundwork. Nick and the Robbie Lawler situation, when they fought the first time, I'm sorry, that catapulted to any Diaz brother. And then when Nate came along, they just attached the two names. People, when I talk to people, they're like, oh, yeah, that guy Nate, or that guy Diaz. But then if you go through their social media, it's always Diaz brothers.
Yeah.
So it's just
getting sandwiched into.
Yeah. So they think the same. A lot of casuals, like Angelo, they thought it's the same guy for the last 25 years. but it's not. Like it's like two brothers, right?
I
So, like,
watched Nick knock out Robbie Lawler, and at the time it was devastating.
oh, it was fucking
It was
just
devastating. It's
insane.
like, what the fuck?
But I gotta be honest with you, man. I was thinking the same exact thing. Like, what is this guy doing? Like, bro, you're really picking a fight with this guy on the feet. Like, Robbie's gonna get after you. And then when he rocked Robbie, I was like, oh,
yeah,
this is wild. This is what's going on right now. Is this really happening? And all of a sudden, boom, just face down. I was like, oh man, my whole world was shook. But you know what though? Nick, to me, I got nothing but respect for Nick Diaz. Love Nick Diaz. Fought on many of cards with him. He's fucking awesome, dude. Awesome. And you have people don't realize, like, I know he's come across brash for people in interviews and this and that. I have yet to meet someone who actually has sat and talked to him that disliked him. He is such a fantastic person. It's so funny. If you want to really get to know Nick Diaz, go take a look at Gina Carano's interview with her about Nick Diaz. Nick and her ended up on the same thing and like on the same like kind of press tour or whatever it was. And he just basically said, like, I can't approve of you like fighting. Like, I can't approve of females fighting. Like, you're, like basically just talking about how beautiful she was and how great she was. And, like, why? Like, why do you fight? She didn't need to fight. People don't realize Gina Carano's dad played for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, it was like
had money.
Yeah. Money. She came for money. And so, and she was still out there fighting. And her dad was like, oh, I hate the fact that she's fighting, but yeah, I'm going to go see. Then he realized that she was good. Like, oh shit, she can fight. That's pretty awesome. But when you listen to the interview of Gina Carano talking about Nick was such a gentleman. And anytime I've ever been around Nick Diaz, he's the man, dude. I got not one bad thing, even about his brother. I like
and
Nate.
How about Nate?
Yeah, but
like
I don't have anything bad to say about Nate.
Yeah.
Nate just doesn't like me because we fought and he lost. And I'm okay with that. I get it. Like,
and then Gilbert, that whole camp, didn't that whole camp have an issue with you?
But I'm still friends with Gil. Gil and I will text each other randomly. Like we've had communication about getting him on the podcast and all this stuff. It just hasn't lined up. I've had him on to announce his fights that he's doing with Scott Coker in San Jose. I've done all this. Like, to me, Gil is one of my he's a rival, but I still consider him like a really good friend. Jake Shields and I just chatted. I was in Vegas 3-4 weeks ago doing a show out there. And Jake was like, yo, bro, if you can come in on my podcast. And I'm like, yeah, man, I got to leave first thing. I was leaving like on a flight out that night as soon as the fight ended. I was on like the 12:55 flight in the morning, and I was getting home at like 4 a.m. here, 5 a.m. here. So I got nothing bad to say about Nate. Nate doesn't really talk to me, and I'm cool with that. I get it. But his brother, I will go out of my way when I see him to say hi. If I see Nick across the room, I will walk my ass over there just to show respect. He's such a great person, man. Just
what do you think? Question about Nick here. Yeah, I obviously place bets. If you don't know it, I'm a part of We Want Picks as well now, an affiliate. And one of my bigger bets that I've ever placed was actually against Nick Diaz in one of his later return fights. When I saw a picture of him and he looked great, looked all shredded, and then I saw him at the weigh-ins and I was like, how the fuck is that the same person? He was all kind of bloated and looked like he hadn't been working out and all the rest of it. Yeah. And I just hammered against him there because I was like, the deterioration it was only a few months between that and that just shows the lifestyle he's leading. I can't believe that he's going to dig deep if it gets in there, because you are what you repetitively do. And if he was so out of shape and not, getting in the reps, doing the work, even if he is a lifelong fighter, I just couldn't foresee him doing that. What did you feel like seeing him turn up and, even accept the fight being that out of shape and the worst version of himself, What did that say to you?
I think if you take a look at the mentality of the Diaz brothers in general, it's anytime, any place, anywhere. I mean, look at those guys that stepped up to Nate Diaz, right, in New Orleans. The guy stepped up, he got choked the fuck out and got face down, ass up. Now he's a fucking meme all over the internet. That's what happens, man. Anytime, any place, anywhere. And it's funny when dudes like say shit about the Diaz brother. I said, hey, you all talking hell of shit, but if you run into them in the elevator, it's fucking on. When people say it's on site with those guys. And it doesn't even matter. I'll give you guys an example, bro. I was in San Francisco. We were at an after clubs party. It was like 4 a.m. I was with Gil, Jake Shields, a couple other dudes. Well, Gil was dancing with his now wife. It was his girlfriend back then. And some dude like basically trying to like cut in. and like start talking to his now.
When you
wife.
say Gil, is Gilbert
Melendez,
Melendez?
Gilbert Melendez.
Yeah.
We were all out at after club party in San Francisco. It was like 4 a.m. We'd been going hard all day, basically, like on the beach piers there, and we were at this after club party, and I was there. We were all hanging out. I was with Jake Shields, we're having drinks. Everyone's so having fun. And this dude tried to like cut in. All I saw was the commotion break out on the dance floor. I saw the guy step in and like, hey, I'm gonna take her. And Gil's like, get out of here. Get out of here. The guy was a little bit bigger. But all I know is like it didn't matter. As soon as we saw Gil push the guy, like Jake and I rush, boom, it's on site. Like it doesn't matter who you are. Like if you're with the scrap pack, you're with Gil, you're with Jake, you're with Nick, you're with Nate. They have another group of guys that are there. It's on, dude. It's on. Like I don't give a shit. They don't care how big you were. They don't.
Or the hawk it down. It's going.
They don't care if you hawk it out. They'd be like, "Yo, well, I don't give a fuck. You might want to get some smelling salts. I'll be wicking your ass up in a second." Like that's how they think. That's the way they think. So it was, yeah. But just, I don't know. Like I think as fighters, we all have each other's backs too. So like in that situation, I had like me and Jake were boom right there, ready to get down, and got into a little conversation. Things ended well for us, so we're all right.
Yeah, couple of quick questions for you as well in regards to some fights that are happening and are not happening. I was listening to on the drive through just before I got home. You were saying, you thought if there was a finish in the fight, Bo Nickel by knockout, but you think it's going to be a boring decision. I kind of disagree with that based purely off of the lack of defensive ability from Reinier de Ridder. And as a fighter and yourself, do you not agree that when somebody doesn't have good movement and they're there to be hit, regardless of their size, I don't think that he's going to be able to just eat shots from Bo Nickel, because I think Bo Nickel will easily be able to land them because his head's there on the center line, and I just imagine it's going to be there for the taking. So that's something that
you're advocating that Bo will win by knockout.
Yeah, I think he wins by round 1 knockout. I think he's going to
by round 1.
Yeah, round 1. I think easily.
Yeah. Okay. Say I said he could win by knockout.
We'll see, Angelo. We'll see.
I think he could win by knockout. I just think it's ended up being a boring fight. I don't think he'll take the chance in round 1 when they're still dry to try to get him out of there.
Yeah,
still dry. And the time that you don't want to be on the ground with de Ridder is when he's still dry. So I don't think he'll be doing everything he can to like make.
You think he'll just hide around the octagon for the first round, maybe?
De Ridder just walks forward.
Yeah,
because it's one of those guys. One of those guys that just, if I can just close the distance, and if I fight you in a phone booth, I don't have to worry about getting hit with a big shot in a phone booth. Really,
yeah,
that's what he's going to try. He's going to try to squish that space and try to get in tight, press him, get into the clinch. What's the worst you're going to do? Like take me down? That's where I want to be. If you foot sweep me, I can just try to fall down on my back and hit an ankle lock. And we know that he's subject to those, as Gordon Ryan proved. Like those are things that wrestlers are subject to, is ankle locks. They're used to be able to pull out because they got shoot. They're used to be able to they're not used to be able to pull out. They think they can, but it's not going to happen, man. I think de Ridder's, don't get me wrong. I got a lot of respect for de Ridder. 185 pound, 205 and heavyweight champ over in one. I get it. I understand that. Bo Nickel to me is a stud. I think he's going to probably end up being the future of the division if he can get his striking proper and his submission game defense on point. But the thing is that de Ridder, he takes shots. He takes shots when he comes in. Who did he fight last? Who did de Ridder fight last?
Kevin
Holland.
Kevin Holland took him down subdivision.
185. Kevin Holland cannot defend takedowns against anybody. So.
Okay, who did he fight before that?
It was Jared Mearshart.
Yeah,
Jared Mearshart.
And the Mearshart fight. Mearshart,
he got rocked by Mearshart. Yeah.
What's that?
He got rocked by Mearshart on the feet.
Yeah.
That's why he's getting knocked out round 1.
I don't think he round 1, but he didn't get rocked in the first round by Mearshart.
No, it was second round, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so what happens?
If Jared Mearshart is tagging you on the feet and you're 6'4" with a 6'3", 6'4" with a reach advantage, like there's some splaining to do because who's your striking coach?
The approach is going to be the same though. Like with Gerald Mearshart, right? I can walk in realizing like, your shots are not that hard. We've seen that Bo Nickel's got some power when he slumped that one dude right in the very first couple seconds.
Val Woodburn, and he also slumped somebody in the regional scene as well with a better knockout.
Okay, but in the UFC, there was that guy that took the fight on short notice, came in and basically he like slumped him in that fight. Jesus, man, this guy, he keeps going to the bathroom. Broke the seal.
Lady bladder, as he would say.
Amateur lady bladder. I love it. Yeah. So when I look at that fight, I think to myself, like, he's got a chance of getting the win. De Ridder does, in terms of he gets the takedown early, get the submission while they're still dry. I think as the fight goes on, it's gonna be more difficult for him.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, I don't want to run around in circles on that one because it sounds like you're kind of saying it's possible as well, but you think it's going to take longer. The second fight I wanted to talk to you about, and more so fighter, is what do you think of Joaquin Buckley and the evolution since moving down to 170, and also his utilization of the peekaboo style that he's implementing within his striking? Because I'm huge on Joaquin Buckley. I think that he is an absolute specimen of an athlete, first and foremost. I mean, that dude, he just looks like he's been carved out of some stone, And the way that he's been landing strikes on people, and even Wonderboy Thomson said that, when he hit him with that combo, he didn't even see it coming, just slumped him. So,
yeah, I looked at that fight.
Let it out.
No, I had two, and then I was kind of turned into a cough. There's big allergies here in Texas during this time of year. Joaquin Buckley to me is super fast, really explosive. He's got all the tools and everything like that. I watched him fight from 170, go up to 85, and then come back down to 70. He's had success at 70 now because once he started winning fights at 70, he realized there was a run for him potentially at 170 to a title, to a UFC title. And if I go through these rankings, right, at the 170-pound division, he's got a really good chance of getting to a title shot. He's one fight away, I think. If he beats Kamaru Usman, and let's just be honest, if he knocks out Kamaru Usman, they're going to offer him a title shot. You think when?
Win. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I think it's going to be tougher than people think. I think the time off for Kamaru's going to go back to his wrestling. He's talked about his wrestling and his knees have been fine. I'm not saying that Kamaru is going to lose, win. I'm simply saying that I think that it's going to be a tougher fight for Buckley than people give him credit for. This is the other reason why. Joaquin Buckley realizes what's at stake. And Kamaru Usman is that next level of fighter that's going to get him to the title. And those fighters have a tendency either to rise to the occasion or they fold a little bit. And what I mean by fold is that it doesn't mean they lose. They just don't fight the way that they would normally fight. You understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're
cautionary fight. And that could end up being like his downfall too. You can't afford to give up the first round against someone like a Kamaru Usman. Because all you got to do is win one more with the takedown.
What I liked about Buckley is in his last fight when he fought Wonderboy, things were not going that well. Like Wonderboy was having some success. Things weren't going that well for Buckley, but he stuck with it. He kept moving forward. He kept trying to win that fight, and then he did win the fight. He didn't get on himself that he was behind. He didn't quit on himself. He didn't try to do crazy stuff. Like he just stuck with it, kept working, and ultimately found that shot when it wasn't an easy fight. So I agree. I think Buckley has the ability to mentally step up. Like physically, that dude's there all day, every day. He's lightning fast.
His conditioning is crazy. Conditioning.
So physically, that dude's there. So for him to mentally step up like he did against Wonderboy, when Wonderboy's weird as hell to fight, like all the things was really impressive. That's when I was like, dude, Buckley's good. Like, I know this fight wasn't perfect leading up to that knockout, but dude's good.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Buckley, and this is something about betting lines as well. By the way, hit both those PFL plays. Shout out to We Want Picks Premium. If you were signed up, you would have seen I put 2 plays on Premium. Both those came through flying colors.
You had Romanov by standing head and arm guillotine against the 40-year-old. Was that one of those?
No, just fight under 1.5 rounds. It was my minus 200.
Wow.
Yeah, minus
standing
minus
head and arm guillotine is wild. Like standing head and arm, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
you'd be surprised what happens when you're exhausted.
Yeah, his opponent, 40-year-old man that has.
Let's just be honest, right? Like I could probably hit that same submission on Angelo after falling into the fucking post office. Right?
When you're standing,
you're the mailbox. He'd be so exhausted, I could hit that move on him.
You would need 3 step ladders to be able to get to my head and neck.
All right, can we get a height check here? Because Josh Thompson's, I'm assuming you've seen Jacob in person.
The worst part.
How tall is Jacob?
I have not met Jacob in person, man.
He's not met Jacob in person.
Angelo's been hiding him from me.
He declares that Jacob himself declares he's like 6 foot 5'11", and then Angelo declares he's like 5'7" or something.
No, I definitely Jacob's taller than Josh. Josh is avoiding the meetup for that exposure there.
You're 5'10", Josh. You're 5'10", or.
Yeah, I'm 5'10". I'm actually shrunk probably now to 5'9". But I was 5'10 3/4 when I entered the UFC back in 2001. I was 5'10 3/4. And then I think the last time I measured myself, I was still 5'10", but barely.
like a baby.
Yeah.
Just lay on the floor and have your wife do the chalk at the head and the chalk at the feet. And then
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much that's what we do around here. Once you got kids, man, you just kind of measure yourself next to them.
Before I completely forget what I was saying as well, though, the second thing was betting lines.
This is the autism, Bet Sam. That's the autism.
I think I have
your
severe ADHD.
inability.
I switch between shit like crazy.
Are you
It's
autistic?
ridiculous. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm autistic as fuck. Probably. Like honestly, probably. Like
I've got yes.
If there's a spectrum, I'm at least halfway on it. You know, like it more than grazed me. It more than grazed me for sure. I'm the poster child for functioning autism. But no, the other one was the betting line for Joaquin Buckley, I believe, opened at plus 140. I didn't actually catch this because I would have hammered the shit out of that. But I found it crazy that any sportsbook would open that line at plus money. I understand, you know, Kamaru Usman, my peak of watching the UFC was Kamaru Usman was at the top. Francis Ngannou, I think, had just gotten to the top. Israel Adesanya was on his reign, and you know, the Henry Cejudo hitting the double champ. This was my like peak of UFC watching. So I completely understand.
Well, you're late to the party.
I'm fucking 30 years old. It is what it is.
They are all so young.
Yeah. The other side of that, though, is Joaquin Buckley and what he's done in this division absolutely, in today's modern era, smashes anything that Kamaru Usman has done of late. You know, he's 0-3, I think, in his last 3 fights. So coming in here, I just thought that was ridiculous. And even being at a minus 200, I still feel like is putting like old respect onto the Kamaru Usman name, considering that he hasn't showcased an ability to win.
Wait,
and I think,
hold on. Wait, stop right there. Hold on.
Yeah, you go.
Hey, Angelo, take this, please.
Take a deep
Before
breath.
I get up and lose my cool.
Take a deep breath with the autism. Let's back up on Buckley. So, or on Usman. Usman lost coming off the couch, up and weight to Khamzat Chimaev, where if that was a 5-round fight, Usman was winning that fight. And this is a very different conversation.
But why was he winning that fight, though? It's because Khamzat ran out of gas. It was nothing that he was doing technically.
So you could go the negative rounds.
5 days notice. What do you mean Khamzat was running? Kamaru Usman should have been running out of gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was a deficiency that exists within Khamzat. That's a deficiency that exists within Khamzat, though, that it wasn't something that's present within.
So you could go the negative route it was because of, or you can go the positive route like Josh did. The size difference, the short notice, the fact that he was having success. What I said about he wasn't quitting on himself. That championship mentality, went after it. And then we go back one more fight to when he got the rematch against Leon Edwards. I thought he won that fight. I thought that was a bad decision. I thought he beat Leon Edwards the second time.
Right decision.
And the first time he beat the shit out of Leon for the entire fight, except for one kick at the last minute. So the idea that Kamaru Usman can't win a fight recently is a bit skewed because he basically, if you look at his last 3 fights objectively, very close to winning the Khamzat fight. I thought he did win the Leon Reed match, and he straight up won. It was an Anderson Silva Chael Sonnen moment in his other fight with Leon Edwards. So I agree. He's old. He's not what he used to be, but I would not agree that like, oh, look at his last 3 fights. Your exact words, Samuel, was he has shown an inability to win a fight. That's crazy. That's
in recent times. That's what I said. In recent times, he's shown an inability to win.
You said he's 0-3.
He is 0-3 in his
okay, but look at his 0-3 is different than anybody that Buckley's fought.
Yeah, I will say so. When I look at fights, when I look at fights, though, I'm looking at things from a betting perspective, right? This is myself. You were a fighter, so you look at things from a fighter's perspective. Angelo knows that giving credit to people turning up and looking good in losses is a surefire way to lose your bankroll. You know, example, Jordan Vucinic. There's examples all the time of fighters coming in and going, oh, you know, Roberto Romero turned up. Oh, he put on a decent showing against David Onama. You know, there are fighters that turn up, they put an okay effort, they still lose, then they go on to lose their next fight even worse. I think not only is Kamaru Usman going to lose this matchup, but the fights that you saw and the success that he had within those fights is not going to exist against an opponent like Buckley because he was able to do things to those opponents that don't match the skill set that he's up in front of, you know, like the cardio deficiency that was present in Khamzat, you know, blowing his load and then not being around in enough facet to hold his own later in that fight isn't going to be there in the Buckley fight. The examples of him pushing people against the cage and being able to hold them, which he did in his title run as well, is not going to be there against Joaquin Buckley. He is strong enough to be able to reverse position, explode out of there multiple times across multiple rounds. And when it comes to the striking, he's going to be able to angle off and hit him. I think for me, I'm a big Buckley believer. I know that Usman was where he was, but I just think that the line is wild. That's my own take.
I'm a huge Buckley believer. And like I just told you earlier when we started this conversation, was that I'm not saying that Usman's going to win. And I believe that he's faster, he's more explosive, he's got great takedown defense. But the reason why if I was to lean, I'm going to lean towards Buckley. But I'm also going to say this: all the ways that Buckley normally loses, Kamaru Usman possesses those ways. The wrestling, straight punches, those are things that are dangerous to Buckley. Buckley wings his punches, loopy punches. The straight shot and the length and the reach of Usman is going to get there first if he throws the straight right down the pipe. That's just the reality of it. The same thing with the takedowns. When you look at Buckley, he throws loopy punches. When you throw loopy punches, guess what? It's easier to be taken down. That's why most of his losses that he had, he's been held down. So when I look at the ways that he loses, Usman possesses all those ways. Now, as a betting man, like you like to say, you should probably look at those odds too. That's what I'm being honest with you. Like if you take the direct relationship of how Buckley tends to lose, Usman does that. So I thought you were a betting man. Do you look at those two, or just the way that you want to skew the odds? Just
no. I think that your opinion is definitely valid, but we'll see. We'll see come fight. We'll see come fight.
You said I look at fights. See, you look at fights. I know fights. That's the difference. See, like that's a George Foreman comment.
I'm couch warrior right here.
You watch fights. I know fights. That's the differences.
Speaking of watching fights, you go.
No, please.
Speaking of watching fights, you said you're cool with Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz. I have never liked Nate Diaz. I don't understand the love for him. So for me, I don't understand why he's being put into these matches when he continued to lose them throughout, especially the later part of his career. He never achieved anything as far as like putting together an impressive win of victories. He just got the one victory over the up and weight Conor McGregor, etc. And then that just kind of propelled him into a string of losing fights. I also don't like the narrative of him, having a moment in a fight. People are like, if the fight didn't run out, if it went for another 25 minutes, he only lost 24 minutes of it. And so I just found that whole narrative very bizarre. And
so you're going to take it out on Nate Diaz because people have a narrative like that?
But I was going to say, the reason I was familiar with you is even before you came on the show or saw any of this, I used to watch that fight on repeat just to watch Nate Diaz get knocked out.
So here's the thing, though. Like, see what you forgot to mention, though, is that the fight before I fought him, he fought Vincent Henderson for the UFC lightweight title.
Yeah.
And so to say that he lost all these fights, and he actually earned his way to a title shot in the UFC. And he did it in fantastic fashion. He fucked up Cowboy Cerrone. Like he dismantled him out there. I mean, and I love Cowboy, and I think even Cowboy will say like that's.
Have you been out to the ranch? At Cowboy's ranch?
No, I have not been there. I have not. But I love Cowboy Cerrone.
Like
I think he's one of my all-time favorite fighters. And all I ever wanted to do was fight him when I got to the UFC finally when I went back the second time. Is I wanted that fight. UFC told me no. That fight's out of it.
So I'm looking at it. He beat Takanori Gomi, who, if you care about pride or that's a huge win. Donald Cerrone, then Jim Miller, and this is in 2012. That got him his title shot. And then after that, my browser's freezing here. Hold on. After that, it was Benson Henderson, the world champion. Josh Thomson, at that point, old, weak, small,
was old and weak at the time.
Osteoporosis, his bones were hollow.
I mean, even old week Thomson, you busted him up.
35
it was going to be a
old.
doctor stoppage, even if it didn't get finished in that round. His nose looked all busted up, face smashed. You had him. Nate, you had him beat from building
his brother threw the towel in. The fight was over.
Yeah.
Nick threw the towel in, so the fight would have ended regardless whether they stopped it or not.
Yeah, Sam, your narrative is crazy because Eddie beats Michael Johnson, and this is Michael Johnson with a chin in 2015. Then he beats Conor McGregor. He fought Rafael Dos Anjos, former world champion. He beats Gray Maynard, who fought for that world title a few times. Yep. He loses to George Masvidal, fine. Loses to Leon Edwards, became a world champion.
Masvidal fight was for the BMF title.
Correct. Smokes Tony Ferguson and then retired. Sam. Josh and I do the bad takes, but here you are with the worst.
The best takes.
True.
The autistic takes was that.
No, look, I look at Nate. Why is you? What was your question again? Your question was that.
Oh, I didn't have a question. I was just
no.
glazing you for knocking
your
him out.
question was why does he keep getting all these opportunities?
Yeah, no, I didn't like that he kept getting opportunities. I understood that there was popularity, and that it's an entertainment sport. I didn't like him. You know, there are fighters up and down the roster that like I like or don't like, and people, you know, I don't understand the hate for Ian Gary, for example. You know, but people love to hate on him.
What do you mean you don't understand?
Yeah, he's boring. I get the hate for Ian.
I enjoy
I
his
bring my
striking.
fellows to watch him fight.
His mouth and his skills
don't have enough
line up.
autism. You know,
The hate for Ian Gary is what's starting to happen to Sean Strickland. The mouth and the cage don't line up.
He's a little cringe. Like Ian's a little cringe, and I'm cool with whatever it is he says and what he does. It doesn't bother me. He's a little cringe. And I look, he's got the skill level, but the difference is right now, and I talked about this the other day. Do you think you and I talked about the fighters don't fight anymore? They basically go out there, they stick and move. They're in it for the business. They're not in it to fight. Like I grew up fighting. Like you started paying me to fight. I was like, fuck, I was doing this for free for all these years. What was I doing? Like Dustin Poirier loves to fight. Even DC said, dude, this dude was a white dude in an all black school. Of course he can fucking fight. Like some of us grew up that way. And you know, whether we became great or whether we didn't, like we loved fighting. And we found a way to make a living at it and make a lot of money at it. We were really good and we realized we could dedicate our lives to it and make money. That's exactly what you see from some of these guys. Ian Gary's not that guy, you know. And I said, like, there's guys that will go out on their shit. There's good. If I go through the list of guys right now that should fight for the BMF title that are in the rankings, there's like two of them. Who the
this is a literal unreleased hot take, by the way.
I was going to say that's a great.
We did it. Like, we did it. We filmed it yesterday. It's just
nice. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We filmed it yesterday.
Little promo there for that one. Yeah.
We're looking at him and I are looking at the. We're looking at it, and we're like, I'm not going to give you those names. You have to listen to the hot take.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, there's only like 2 or 3 of them on there.
You went across all weight classes?
Yes, there's only
men and women, or just
men and women.
Oh yeah, we did the whole thing.
Well, first off, I don't think there'll be a woman one. Period.
No.
And look, no matter what you say, I don't think there'll be a woman one because, first off, people don't like to.
You got to find 2 people that are willing to throw down.
Yeah, you got to find 2, and there's not 2 in there.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Yeah. Like it's like you have
Weili Zhang number 1. Weili Zhang number 1. She's willing to throw down.
Amanda's coming back. You can say Amanda's coming back. She's down. Juliana Pena can be 1, but like in the women's division, there's only like there's like 3 of them. That's it.
Yeah.
But they need an opponent. Who's the opponent? And I can't have someone who's ranked number like 12 or 13 because you're not worthy of the BMF title. You got to be someone that's in that mix of 1, 2, and 3 for a long period of time that I know I've seen you get down against the best fighters. That's the BMF title. Like you've got to be a bad motherfucker. And anyways, but I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead
for you. New Zealanders, because you're on an island.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The thing is, I was in the Cook Islands. You know, I was out there for about 2 weeks, and I noticed.
Rarotonga?
What?
Rarotonga? No.
Are you saying words?
English?
Rarotonga is the Cook Islands, no?
Oh, no. I was the Atataki.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
so I was asking which island it was at.
You know, it's called islands, plural. So there's more than one. Okay.
That's why I was asking if it was Rarotonga.
But I did go to Rarotonga, whatever you called it. Yeah, I went there first for
Raro. We'll call it Raro for your guys.
Raru. Raru. I feel I sound like I'm talking to my son, like Raru.
Yeah, you know, I went to Rarotonga. Yeah, me and my family.
Yeah. I went to Rarotonga. Is it
that was a solid American accent? That was a solid.
My family is from Missouri, so I've heard a lot of American.
So Rarotonga, okay. I was there. We were there for a couple of days. Then I went from there to Atataki. Spent the rest of the trip there. I noticed that there's a bunch of like grave sites on their property. Do you guys bury your family on your land so that the government can't take it?
No. There might be instances of that within like multiculture and the far north where it's a lot more scarcely populated, I will say, and also more indigenous populated. But for the most part, like I mean, for example, New Zealand's got like 5 million people. We're not exactly a blip on the world at this point. But there are parts of New Zealand that are less there's still people riding around on horses on dirt roads, but it's a much smaller part than the majority of New Zealand. Like Cook Islands, you could drive around Rarotonga in 40 minutes on a scooter. So that's a bit different,
But no, the difference, Bob, the reason why I was asking is because like there's obviously limited land in New Zealand. Correct? Or no?
I mean, no, like New Zealand's, I think one of, if not, one of the least populated places on planet Earth as far as like the
I just thought
populace per square meter,
Okay, I thought like people own the land. I thought like whatever land is available there is for purchase for people own it. That they basically would like more people coming in, whatever it is. I give Rarotonga, okay, and Aitutaki, like they say they bury their family on their land because land is scarce for how many people live on it, and that's a way for the government not to take it because my family's buried there. So then they own that land. Because like there really is no other houses to be built because there's no land for it to be built on. It's overpopulated for that island.
Yeah, no, New Zealand, there's land for days. Land for days. Yeah,
maybe it's all just tied up with specific owners and families and stuff like that. So there's not available land.
New Zealand's biggest GDP is like meat production. We provide a lot of meat to the rest of the world. That's where a lot of New Zealand's production comes from. We don't make many things in New Zealand, cars, all the rest of it, all that sort of thing isn't made in New Zealand. It's small here, but we do produce meat and milk. Milk primarily goes to China. Even our lamb production primarily goes to China as well. Meat, honey,
China. Send it to us.
But China kind of like just corners the market, like, and then they end up in big trade deals where they're obviously we produce X amount of lamb or whatever, and they'll be like, we'll do it if you'll exclusively sell us X amount of percentage of it. I used to work within the meat industry, which is why I'm more knowledgeable over that side of it. And
you guys are just afraid that you're so close to China that one day they're just going to take you over.
That's it.
No, we're not close to anybody anywhere. I mean, that's the only knock on New Zealand that I would say is that getting anywhere is, number one, super expensive. Flights everywhere are ridiculous. And, I wanted to go to some American cards and have had some of my viewers offer to be like, hey, we actually got a ticket. If you turn up, I'll house you, I'll do this. But the flights, it'll cost me, $2,000 just to get there and back. And so, and also it's connecting flights. So it's going to take me 2 days travel each time, trying to get anywhere. And so that's the one big knock that I would say from New Zealand. It's a little bit disjointed to the world on that side of things. But anyway, I'll let you guys get on with it.
Disjointed, get the fuck.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, Josh Thomson. I've been watching the Bad Take, so it's nice to get a chance to speak with you, and always nice to catch it up with my boss / coworker Angelo there. But thank you for having me, guys.
Right, see you
Take it easy, brother. Nice meeting you, man.
See ya. This is what a call-in show is, Josh. A lot of random shit.
Man. I love it.
Drinks early.
I've never done this before.
I've been doing it for almost 3 hours now, but yeah, it's usually the call-in shows are pretty casual. What we could do in theory is evolve our Sunday shows into hybrid call-in shows. Okay. So, take calls. What do you think the next match is? Obviously far more organized with give your fucking shit and then leave and just to work through. But I like the call-in shows because you get to hear from the most supportive people of your community. Not just regular people, the most supportive people of the community. And it is interesting to hear other people's opinion because sometimes you are in a vacuum and you just hear, you just hear the same opinion over and over or whatever. So
will you offer this to your premium members?
Only the premium. Well, for two reasons. One, as a benefit to premium members, and two, I'm not trying to hear N-words or see dicks. So I figure the paywall will help keep those at bay. So that'll help with both of those things. So,
have you ever had someone send you a dick pic on here?
No dick pics, no N-words. And I think it's because of the premium, the step of becoming premium. You really want to show your dick if you become a premium member. That's also why I do mandate cameras on. Like if you're going to come on here and do some wild fucking shit.
I would never have thought of that, to be honest. I'd be like, oh, your camera's off. Like, you maybe you should turn your camera on. Like, oh, no, I don't want to. And then all of a sudden you turn it on. Like, right when you put them on live, they turn their camera on, which is a big old dick.
Yeah. Well, or if you're going to say some wild shit, like at least your face said it and everybody sees who said it. So, because I can see people in the queue. I can see their cameras. I can see everything they're doing. So I mandate cameras on because it's like, no, I'm not playing this game, dude. Yeah, like if you're going to do something out of pocket, everybody's going to see it.
Very smart play.
And I also hover over the kick button. We got one more dude. Michael, I see you want back on. You're not getting back on, buddy. Sorry. I appreciate you were here for like fucking 40 minutes. Not happening. We got one more caller. If you're cool with it.
Yeah, I'm down, brother.
All right. We got JT. You've been sitting here patiently.
Yes, I have. Thank you for bringing me on. I love the bad takes, guys.
I appreciate it, brother. You know what? I want Michael MacArthur, right? We just had Michael on. I want to just poke some fun at him. He says, fuck no, Juliana Pena can't be BMF. It's N-O, not K-N-O, by the way.
You said fuck K-N-O?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
K-N-O-W. Fuck no. No, it's not how you do it, buddy.
Michael, come on.
JT,
Michael.
I love your initials, brother.
I appreciate that.
I wish, honestly, there was a moment in my career when I thought about changing my nickname, The Punk, to either Mr. Joshua from Lethal Weapon or JT. Because I wanted Bruce Buffer just to introduce me as Mr. Joshua Thomson. That was it.
Wait, your nickname or your?
Yeah. No, I wanted my nickname.
Just
instead of being Josh the Punk Thompson, I wanted it to be. I started having Bruce Buffer and the guy from Showtime. Shit, what was his name? The guy who introduced me. Fuck, I forgot his name. Jimmy Lennon Jr. I started having them introduce me as the Punk Josh Thompson versus Josh the Punk Thompson. But then I was like, man, I don't really like this name anymore. Fucking in my
just
30s.
The Punk's JT.
I just wanted to be Josh JT or J. You know, remember how Jay-Z Cavalcante was? I would like the whole thing JT because a lot of times when I was younger, everyone called me JT. So I was like, oh shit, this is perfect. This is actually kind of my real nickname. So then I just fucking didn't do it because I was an idiot.
Well, Mr. Josh would have been the worst nickname.
The fucking greatest ever.
That's fucking terrible thing. The best nickname I ever heard.
Mr. Joshua. That's my real name.
That's so much, but make it nerdier by finishing the whole name out. My favorite nickname ever. Sorry, JT. We'll get this.
No, you're good. You're good.
My favorite nickname ever was when I was managing fighters. I was managing Dan Kramer. He came off the Ultimate Fighter. Was at American Top Team. Had a bunch of fights in Bellator. He fought this guy Jeff Nader, and his nickname was Scary Nickname. So they would introduce him as Jeff Scary Nickname Nader, and I loved it. I absolutely just shitting on the whole idea of a nickname. I loved it. It was just so funny to me.
That is the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard.
Yeah, Mr. Joshua. Mr. Joshua says that's a bad nickname.
JT, put this guy in his place, man. Let him know.
Yeah. So
let him know.
What I want to talk about real quick was Corey Figgy for a sec, but just because Sam brought it up, I did want to say that I mean, he brought up everything, but it sucks that Ian Gary's definitely going to get the next title shot because he's serving as the backup, and I don't think that decision win where you almost got knocked out over the number 13 ranked warrants a title shot, especially when you have Sean Brady, when you have Joaquin Buckley and all these other guys who should really get it better, or they're more deserving. So yeah, that I think sucks for us. It's going to be probably Bilal versus Ian Gary, I think.
So two quick things. Ooh. One, is that a Pennsylvania accent I hear? Is that where the Sean Brady love's coming from?
No, I'm from New York City.
All right, close enough.
Close enough.
You don't think Brady deserves it? I guess. Or?
No, I think he does. I disagree that I made the case to Josh that Ian was going to be next, and Josh actually did a somehow reasonable job of being like, no, just because he's the backup doesn't mean he'll get the next shot.
No, unless he actually has to be used as the backup, they don't get it. But I don't think he's getting the shot
with like the star power as well. I mean, I feel like he is
star power.
I think Ian has like.
Who?
Star power, honestly. Ian Gary, yeah.
What are you talking about? Ian who?
Ian Gary.
I think
I think he has like I do. I think he's very boring and he says he's gonna knock out every fight, but
his wife's got the star power, the fucking porn star power.
He's more popular than Sean Brady is. I mean, for sure.
How many YouTube videos? How many times do people talk about him? Every MMA YouTuber talks about him. You guys talk about him.
He's not a star. He's not a star. Here, look, Sean Brady may not be a star either, but let's just be honest. Sean Brady's ranked number 1, so you don't need to be a star when you're the number 1 ranked contender. That's it. He's above Shavkat. Shavkat was supposed to get next. I think Sean Brady leapfrogged him. And my talking conversation is Ian Gary will get it if he has to be used to the backup. Outside of that, I don't see it happening. Sean Brady went out there and did his job with a beautiful finish. Absolutely. Shavkat went the distance with Ian Gary, who just almost got finished in the 5th round, like you said, number 13. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Well, I hope you're right. I agree with you.
I'm not trying to do MMA math, but Sean Brady should be next in line. I don't give a shit who it is, whether it's JDM or Bilal. It should be Sean Brady.
I think star power rise between them, Shavkat, I actually think might have the best star power out of them because he's weird. He's different. He's got all finishes outside of one fight. I think Ian Gary, I agree, is definitely a bigger star than Sean Brady is. And he's got maybe a country behind him. I don't know how much Ireland cares about him. Or
he claims he does, but
yeah, he's not Connor. We know that. But I think Shavkat, if Shavkat, that fight with Ian actually took a little bit away from Shavkat because he wasn't able to finish him. But Shavkat might be the star power because he is so weird and different in the hat and like all the craziness that comes with him.
Yeah, I agree, and I definitely hope you're right.
Yeah, the Shavkat situation it's strange because they offered him the fight already. He couldn't fight because he's injured, so that may get him in there. They do like that he's undefeated. They can't take a chance with him really losing his undefeated record because then it keeps him from fighting from the title, and it's easier for them to market. So he's got all the things that are working in his direction to go ahead and be the one that leapfrogs Sean Brady. But it's going to be very difficult, man. Like, he didn't have a great fight against Ian. It's hard for me to market him off that. If I'm the UFC, I'm going like, fuck, we needed a finish. We needed something, and we didn't get anything. We got a really boring
that fight sucked. Yeah,
it sucked. It was boring. And so with Sean Brady coming off of his last couple wins, he's looked really impressive, man. Dominant. And then his only loss in his career is to who? Bilal. So if Bilal wins, I could see them having him fight Sean Brady, only because it's a makeup fight. It's a fight that, like, hey, Bilal and him, stylistically, Sean Brady's a very dangerous fight for Bilal, especially the way he's fighting now. Everyone's like, oh, they just fought 3 fights ago or whatever it was. Different times, man. I know Bilal's gotten a little better since they fought, but Sean Brady's significantly better. People take away, we have to remember, they fought, I believe, in like Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia. They fought over in the Middle East. Sean had never traveled out that way and done that. This time, this fight, if it was to happen, I think it'll happen in the States. You'll see a different fight. I'm not saying that Sean's going to win. I'm simply saying it'll be a lot different fight, though.
Yeah, agreed. Would you give it to him? Would you give the shot to Brady over Buckley if Buckley KOs Usman before that matchup gets made?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you'd still give it to Brady.
Absolutely. Brady's my number 1 guy. He's done everything he's needed to do. His only loss in his career is to this current champion. And I'm always saying this based off if Bilal was to win, I would give Sean Brady to Bilal. That's it. There's a storyline there. I can market that. Yeah. If Bilal loses, I might probably give it to Shavkat. Just to be honest.
See, I would do Shavkat if I'm the UFC. This isn't fan, this is marketing wise. I would give it to Shavkat because I have to, like, if Sean Brady wins and becomes the UFC welterweight champion, what does that do? Like, I don't think it does anything other than like the Philadelphia market. Like, he's a good dude and he's won some fights later in his career. He was exciting. Early in his career, he was not. Outside of finishing Leon, like, his fights were honestly kind of sucked leading up until the last year or two, where Shavkat was the opposite. Like, we're all harping on his last fight wasn't great, but every single fight before that was. So I would actually go that direction because I would be worried, like, hey, if Sean Brady wins, we're replacing a grappler with a grappler. If Shavkat wins, we've got a million things that could happen here. That's the only reason I'd go Shavkat first.
Look, Shavkat, you look at the talent that Shavkat has fought. It's not great. It wasn't like he went out there and just punked Jeff Neal around. Like, he got the submission in the 3rd round, but it wasn't like he like made him his bitch. It was a good fight. He got some moments there. He got hit with some clean, hard shots. Like, it wasn't like he dominated the whole fight. And I mean, they both looked tired, but like Jeff Neal literally it was a great fight, but it was a close fight. It was one of those like 1 or 2 shots one way. Jeff Neal could have started taking over the fight. You don't know how those go, but like, Jeff Neal's, he's nowhere near title contention. And then you fight Ian Gary in a snooze fest. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not impressed by your performance. That's what it comes down to. And I like Shavkat. I understand the idea from the UFC saying, hey, let's go ahead and like have him fight while he's still undefeated. He's got what, 18 wins by first round finish or whatever, never going the distance, then one fight going the distance or whatever. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not super impressed right now. The verdict for me is still out. Everyone thinks I'm fucking crazy, but I feel the same way about Chimaev too. The verdict's still out for me. Like, oh, what look we did Robert Whitaker. Robert Whitaker had problems with his teeth before they fought, you know, and all that shit. It's happened to him before. He publicly has stated that. It's not uncommon for his teeth to get pushed in training like that. And he knows exactly what to do. He's like, as soon as it happened, I knew it was something wrong. I knew I had to go to the doctor. I had to get it fixed before the shit gets out of whack. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy, right? So the verdict for me is not out on Shavkat or Chimaev yet.
Yeah, that was a wild one, especially. That one felt like it didn't actually tell us much about how Khamzat would be in middleweight, or at least the elite middleweight. But so the other thing I wanted to talk about was Corey Sandhagen is now minus 550. I think Figgy being plus 410 right now on DK is absurd. I do think that Corey takes it, but like I don't think it would surprise anyone if this was a close, like a 48-47 for Corey. I don't think so. I don't think that would be surprising. I don't think we'd be like, holy.
I'd be surprised.
I'd be shocked.
Well, here's my
guess what? There's 2 out of 3, buddy.
All right. Well, if it happens, I'm gonna come back here, rub it in your faces. If it doesn't happen, I'm just gonna never show.
You're just gonna shut up, right? Like that's
exactly.
So, Angelo, we talked about this the other day, right? When guys call us out, and then I'm like, and I'm the guy that will screenshot it and I'll fucking save it in my photos, and then after I'm right, I go back to your post and I just tear you a new one. Oh, remember this? Because you guys are not you guys, but in people in general are so quick.
It's me.
Like, oh, you guys were wrong. You guys are wrong. See how fucking stupid you were? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? All I do is sit around and talk about fights all day. I'm gonna get a couple wrong. You though sit at home and listen to me talk about fights all day, take all my information, and then go and bet and win, right? With my information. But when I get one wrong, I'm a fucking cuck. You guys are out of control. I swear.
Oh yeah, we absolutely have the advantage here. Trust me. But well, all right. So
I love the self-awareness.
I love that you can admit it.
Self-awareness. Yeah.
So yeah. So all right. Here's what I think the play is here. Look. I think Corey at the top level has always like shown us that he doesn't get it done. Like at the top, right? When he fights the top 5, maybe.
But Figgy's not a top guy.
But of his own weight class.
Of his own weight class, for sure. But, I mean, look, I think Corey wins. I agree. So we're all sort of on the same page or the same half page. I just think that the line being for the point spread, 9.5 Figgy is plus 100. It's just 1 round on 3 judges' scorecards. Piotr Jan 50-45 Figgy. So look, it's not a lock. You know, he can get 50-45 for sure, but I think Piotr Jan is so much better than Corey Sandhagen.
Oh,
I don't think
close.
I don't think Sandhagen 50-45s him here. That's what I think.
Great fight, Corey, Peter and Corey. Great fight.
What would you put the line there?
But I'd put it probably even money. You take Umar Nurmagomedov. His wrestling is better than Peter's. Peter's boxing is better than Umar's, but movement wise, Umar's better movement. The in and the out, the reach and the range. Corey Sandhagen we saw in that fight with Umar. I'm not trying to do MMA math, but I'm just trying to get you to kind of correlate some similarities here.
Sure.
Is Corey's gotten so good at his takedown defense, single leg, double leg, all those things. And when he does hit his back, he doesn't hang out there. Like before, he was kind of hanging off of his back and he was having a hard time to get up against Umar. But Peter Yan is not taking him down. If he does, he's going to throw him down and let him back up. He'll foot sweep him. He'll hip toss him. He does what he does. He does it for the judge's reaction to show, look, I'm dominating this guy, which is very common for guys that are good in sambo or guys that are good at foot sweeps and throws. They do that. They throw you and then just walk away from you to show the judges. I could have went down there with him, beat him up some more, but I let him up because I'm dominating him on the feet. The Corey Sandhagen and Peter Yan fight, I'd put it at even money. It's one of those things where Corey's got the reach and the range, and Corey's the better striker. Peter Yan's got the better boxing probably, but he's also got more power. But if I was to say the wrestling, I'd give the hip toss and the wrestling to Peter Yan. But the height and the ability to get in, and try to lift Corey and get him off his feet is going to be too much. He's 5'11" at 135 pounds. That's insane. People don't realize how big that is. Trying to foot sweep those guys or trying to elevate them enough to get them off their toes to throw them, it's fucking almost impossible.
Well, they already fought.
So then would you guys would take, if I had to make you take one, you guys would take the minus 9.5 Corey Sandhagen at minus 135.
I would go that right. So back it up real quick.
Or again,
Peter,
back
Figgy,
to Corey Figgy. Yeah.
So he's selling.
What was it?
Sorry, what was that?
What were the odds again?
So this would be minus 9.5, aka, you need a 49-46 on all three judges or a finish or a 50-45. That would be the side you would take here. At minus 135 was the line.
Oh, minus 135. So they believe it's going to be minus 1. Angelo, give me your take on this.
Yeah, so that bet is basically saying that Corey Sandhagen dominates here. He wins 4 out of 5 rounds, or he finishes, and they're saying minus 135. So like close to even money, but not quite even money, right? That's the favorite side. I think that makes sense. I think that I think Corey Figgy, first of all, is old. He's not young. He's old. He did not look very good in his last fight. He looked good at 135 pounds because he was able to wrestle. He out-wrestled everybody. He's not out-wrestling Corey Sandhagen. So now he's striking as the slower man against a long, lean, very mobile guy. So I think Corey Sandhagen blows through Divas and Figueiredo. Divas and Figueiredo is a dude who didn't want to cut weight anymore, went up in weight class, started wrestling because it was easier, and the wrestling's not going to work. And it didn't work in his last fight. It's not going to work in this fight.
Yeah, to me, just everywhere, Corey's the better fighter. And then not only on top of that, Figgy does tend to get tired in the end of mid to round 3. And he's gotten less tired because he went up in weight. So the weight cut's not killing him anymore. But he's still, Corey Sandhagen has a way of making people fight uncomfortable. Like they just, when I have to fight uncomfortably out there, it makes me more tired. I'm like, damn, you got me on my back foot. Damn, everything I'm doing to you, you already see it coming. And then you start stressing out and then he starts having a problem. Like it's a fucking problem. So, I would actually, with those betting lines, I think Corey finishes him in round 4 or 5, somewhere in there, maybe end of round 3. I'm leaning towards Corey that way.
Fair enough. Just to rebuttal to the,
I said something you didn't want to hear. I saw the look on your face. Like, fuck, I already put the money down. How can I get it back?
Oh yeah, the whole house, the mortgage is on it. But
Jesus, man.
I actually haven't betted. I'm not too opinionated on this whole card.
What sportsbook is giving you 10 points? DraftKings?
DraftKings, and they have like a slider, so you can do.
Oh, you can do
13.5, 9.5, 5.5. But just to the rebuttal against the, I don't think that he's only looked good like because of the wrestling at 135, because he knocked down Cheeto, and he's like the only guy I could think of that knocked down Cheeto.
But that was Cheeto after Cheeto ate the most ridiculous knee in the history of time in the fight. Like that's a Cheeto who has accumulated damage over years. Not
that's fair.
2 years ago, Cheeto.
I do think that he's a very hard hitter.
He definitely has raw power, 100%.
Even at 135, and I think that one knockdown would be all it would take, and this bet would hit. But
so, Josh, do you think basically we're overcomplicating it here? For that bet to hit, Davison needs to win one single round. That's it. Do you think Davison can win one and he can't get finished?
Yeah, maybe round 1.
He has to win one single round.
Yeah, but the question is, can he not get finished? That's more of what I'd be concerned about, because I think he can win round 1. The speed, his ability to move. He's got I think he'll be the faster fighter in round 1. After that, he'll start to slow down because Corey's pressure is going to be it's going to be too much, and he'll start winging punches. And then he'll start telegraphing. It'll be easier to get hit, and then as he gets hit, it's going to be a problem. I'm leaning towards Corey for the finish, submission wise, guillotine wise, that type of thing. Corey can finish him that way. I think Corey ends up probably knocking him out, exhausting him, making him fight an uncomfortable fight, slowing him down, and eventually catching him with big shots and putting him away. But if I was going to give one round to somebody, I'd give it to Figgy. If it'd be first round, if I was going to give him a round.
Because Corey also made Cheeto Vera look stupid. He didn't drop him, but he made Cheeto look real dumb. Like Cheeto did not look good in that fight at all. Song Yadong, same thing. He blew through a young, dangerous striker who could also wrestle. So I just think age matters, especially at these lower weight classes. And I just think Corey's just too fast, too long, too everything other than, to your point, the raw one punch power. That's a little different.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's all for me. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. No, we appreciate you hopping on. Thank you.
Love that name, man. JT.
Yeah, love you too, JT.
Take it easy, brother.
Fucking nerds.
See you guys.
See ya. All right. Well, Mr. Joshua, that's our last caller.
All right, my man. Hey,
I appreciate you hopping on out of nowhere. Yeah,
absolutely,
you hopping on
man.
out of nowhere. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I didn't forget about you. I got home and I was like, you know what? Let me see what my boy's doing. See how I was hanging in there.
Oh, what I did before you hopped on is I plowed a bunch of beers. And then when you did hop on, I broke my seal. And once I break the seal, I got to pee a lot.
I know. I had to carry the show as soon as I got on. So,
dude, and literally, I was like, should I piss before I put him on? I was like, the problem is, I forget who I was talking to. Oh, Michael McCarthy. I was like, who the hell is Michael going to talk to?
Yeah.
I got to piss. So that's how that went.
I'm so glad I was here to pick up the slack for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on. Everybody who called in, there's about 20 of you. I thank all of you, the hundreds that were watching live. Appreciate every last one of you. So thanks for everything. Josh and I will be live Sunday night talking about the matches to make next after what we had just watched Saturday night. So all the outcomes of UFC Des Moines, we're going to talk about what should happen next for them. Oh, that's
man. Thanks, man.
Yeah. All right. See ya.